My bad, guys.
It's okay, it happens.
What is up? Oh. What is up?
What is up? My name is Caleb Griffin.
My name's Caleb Ladd.
And this is your Wednesday Morning Caffeine, the show where we talk about Jesus.
Talk about life. Wait.
That was...
We drink caffeine.
We answer a question.
We talk about life.
And then Caleb Ladd goes to work.
Woo.
Last time it was me. This time it's him.
Yes.
Look at that.
Hoping it's not actually at 9.
Who knows?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. As you can see, we are at 399 subscribers, so smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, so we can get to 400 already, because it's driving me crazy.
We were at 400 for a second.
I wasn't going to tell him that.
I had to say it.
So yeah, and with that being said, this is Caleb AM.
Yep.
And we started off with a Bible verse, because we love the Lord on this show.
Thanks. Thanks for wearing our socks.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was going to mention it later. These socks we got Caleb bought them at Marshall's, and he bought me this pair, which is very kind of him.
On them.
Yeah, so now we have flamingo socks together. They're by Maine and Local.
They got some nice socks.
They do have some nice socks.
Very good quality.
Good quality. That's what I was about to say.
Kind of thick.
That's what I was about to say. Comfy.
They're comfy.
Cool
But,
designs.
I don't have much to say on my verse today, and it's a short verse.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is Colossians 1:3, and it says, "We always thank God the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ when we pray for you." And I don't know that I read it. Oh, there's my alarm.
Right on time.
I can't believe it goes off at the same time every week.
Every week.
But I read that verse in Prayer Burn a couple weeks ago, and I had been focusing on like Thanksgiving and thankfulness a lot that night, and I don't know, it kind of just stuck out to me because I really because it's like, I don't know, I do that whenever I pray for my friends. I thank God for my friends.
Yeah.
Like for you. And I don't know, I think it's important to let people know that you're thankful for them.
I agree. Caleb, I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you. I've been trying to do that more lately, so, you know.
There was one night, as we'll talk about when we get to the weeks portion, where I was praying for one of my friends hard, because I was scared, but we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there.
Alrighty. Great verse, Caleb.
It's one of my favorite verses. Right
Good,
now.
really good verse, yeah. Caffeine. Alrighty.
I'm tired.
You go ahead.
I got a rainbow unicorn bang. That's not what I drank last week, was it?
I don't think so.
I think it was
pina colada, because I asked you to drink pina colada. I love the rainbow unicorn though. Really good flavor. I have one making its return to the show for the first time since its debut back in 2011. Just kidding.
It's Melon Mania. It's cherry blade limeade.
It's not. I've had the cherry whatever limeade one like 3 times.
It's the blue one. Or the
Tropical Storm.
I forgot about the new flavors.
Their newest flavor. I really like the color that they put on the tab thingy. It's a really nice color.
I went game theory today.
He did. I went pink today, so
I could have worn a game theory beanie, but I thought that would have been excessive.
that would have been overkill. You're right.
Yeah.
But I went pink today. The pink accent on the socks, the pink accent on my Marty McFly Funko Pop shirt, and then the pink hat. So I figured that's what I have to do. Anyway,
I have a pink bracelet.
You do, and you got a pink bang.
I was about to say my bang matches your socks.
Maybe we should switch. Nah.
Just kidding. I would never do that to you, Danny.
Oh, we both had good pops. This is gonna be tasty. I thought we were. That's tropical. Is that unicorn?
This is rainbow unicorn right here. Happy
I do really like that flavor. It's got a sweetness to it that I just enjoy.
Yeah, this is just a classic. Excuse me.
Right. Well, we very quickly, I guess quicker than normal, got our Bible verse and energy drinks like out of the way.
We did it fast. That's my fault.
No, it's not. It's not
I
your
didn't have much
fault.
to say about it.
Last week our introduction was so slow because I was just out of it.
True.
We had a fast introduction today. But anyways, with that being said,
We need more time for weeks because I had a very eventful week.
that's fine. We had a question of the week once again. Our Instagrams are going to be in the description below if you'd like to follow us, vote on our polls. Next week the poll will be on his Instagram. This week the poll is on my Instagram. And our question of the week was cake versus pie. Alright? So how this works is Caleb Blatt's going to get a chance to guess what the poll was. We'll each give our choice of vote and we'll talk about the voter reaction and what we think about that. But starting, Caleb Blatt, first I want you to tell me, cake or pie, which is better?
So, I voted for cake because when I think about desserts, I always just think about my mom and her desserts. And you've had her cake.
She makes very
She
good
makes
cake.
very good cake.
That is accurate.
It's like potentially my favorite dessert. But then she also makes a blueberry pie that is like just as good as the cakes. And so it was kind of like a toss up. Because, like, I don't know, store-bought cakes most of the time are pretty mid. So, and I don't get store-bought pies because some pies I don't like. But there's also, like, a lot of variety.
There are some good store-bought pies too, like
pumpkin
those
pie, blueberry, apple, buttermilk, chocolate. You go on and on.
Key
There's not
lime.
all too many cakes. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of cakes, but at a certain point with cakes, you're pushing it on the flavor.
Yellow, vanilla, and chocolate. Red velvet.
Strawberry.
Cheese.
Does that count as cake? Does cheesecake count as cake?
I'd assume so.
I guess so. I mean, it has cake in the name.
Does carrot cake count as cake?
Yes, I've had some really good carrot cakes. But my mom also makes a good caramel cake, which you've never
I
had.
do. I haven't had your mom's caramel cake, but I've had good caramel cake before.
This is better.
Good.
I promise you. Whatever you had, this is better. It's crazy good. I hope she makes it for Andy's birthday, which is, what day is it? Oh gosh, that's in 2 days.
Happy early birthday, Andy.
So, yeah, I went cake. I also think that, like, I don't know, it seems like the common majority of people would just assume go cake, and because pie is like not something you do as often. I mean, like, I guess if you're thinking holidays, pie is pretty common, but for your birthday, nobody wants a pie on their birthday.
Beg to differ.
I actually asked for a blueberry pie on my birthday
I
last
want
year.
cobbler on my birthday, so I love cobbler.
I don't think peach cobbler is a pie.
It's not. I don't consider cobbler pie, but I'm just saying. I asked for cobbler.
I mean, there definitely are some people that do. Like, I asked for a blueberry pie last year, but I was feeling quirky and different, so.
But I get what you're saying. It's 9 times out of 10, or more so like 99 times out of 100, you'll see cake on someone's birthday.
Yeah. And, like, if you, I don't know, if somebody's, like, throwing a party, chances are
Cake.
the dessert is going to be cake.
Yeah, right.
Like, but, you know, on Thanksgiving, I'll eat up some pumpkin pie. On the random occasion that my mom makes a blueberry pie, I get so happy, and I try not to eat the whole thing to not be selfish and take the pie from somebody else. But I think cake won. Hope cake won for my sake. But my mom said check percentage because she just voted.
Okay. I can do that. I'm assuming I know what it jumped to because I know how many people voted and I know what it was. I'm about to see if my math was right. I searched Next Topic Media, not Caleb Griffin.
You don't know what she voted, silly.
Oh, that's true. My math was wrong.
Oh.
Wait. Okay. I appreciate your vote, Miss Laura. That's what I voted for.
So I think cake won, but I don't think it was by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I also might think pie. Because I feel like a lot of people like pie. This is one of the tougher ones we've done for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's like the snow cone ice cream one, kind of.
A little bit, yeah. I think this one is a little bit closer though. But I'm gonna say 53-47 cake.
Okay. Well, cake did win, but it was kind of a blowout.
Oh really?
After your mom's vote, the final tally was 72% to 28%.
Dang.
To give away what your mom voted for,
Was pie?
it was pie because it was 75-25. And I would just like to say, I am appalled by this voting.
It's not that bad.
This is bad.
I'm gonna shut this.
Man, I understand cake is great. I enjoy a good cake. I'm not gonna lie, but pie? And I understand, like, cake has more consistency, you
There are a
know.
lot more pies I don't
Cake,
like.
cake,
I don't
there's,
any type of nut pie. Ugh.
I mean, cakes are gonna be, like, in the same range of, like, really, like the great cakes, then there's, like, the mediocre cakes, and they're all gonna fall in, like, this consistency. And pie has a much larger floor than cake. You're gonna get a lot of pies that are worse than a lot of cakes, but pies also have a much higher ceiling, where the best pies, in my opinion, are better than the best cakes. And
See,
I don't
think
understand.
that's true.
I'm 100. Okay, it's true. Forgive my friend. Pie, it's
My three
got the
favorite desserts are my mom's caramel cake, my mom's regular cake, and my mom's blueberry pie. Therefore, they are all up there, and I couldn't choose between the three. Because people don't have my home.
Amen. Crust makes the pie.
That's very true. See that
The
like
crust
chocolate pie you
makes
can
the
get
pie.
from the stove.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good pie.
It's a great pie.
But
I've had a top tier apple pie before. My grandmother's buttermilk pie. I don't understand how putting buttermilk in a pie makes it tasty. It's buttermilk and it's something that's supposed to be sweet, but it's the greatest creation that I've ever seen. That's not true, but it's one of the greatest desserts ever. And pie is pie. Like, I don't understand what the people of Lowndes and Oktibbeha County have come to when we live in Mississippi and pie isn't at least competing with cake. Like, I wouldn't be so upset if cake won, but the fact that it was this large of a margin is just kind of alarming to me. Like,
I mean, what was it? 72-28?
yeah, that's alarming, man.
It's not a super big blowout.
It makes me upset because pie is delicious. I mean, cake is too. I get it, but it's pie.
Sam's apple pie is divine.
It is very good. I love Sam's apple pie.
I've had a lot more bad pies than bad cakes.
I get what you mean. That's what I was saying with, like, pie has a much larger floor. Pie just also has a much larger ceiling. And that ceiling just can't be ignored.
I don't know. I guess it's because I don't like mini store-bought desserts like that because my mom makes such good ones. She spoiled me. That it just, like...
In the store-bought
Like, I don't see a
division,
wedding pie, and wedding cake is incredible.
wedding cake is very good. In the store-bought division, cake wins over pie. In the homemade division, pie wins over cake.
But, like, in my own personal experience, it's 2-1. But don't get me wrong, I love blueberry pie. Like, it could be number one, but then there's two right behind it. It kind of depends on the day. I haven't had a caramel cake in a long time, and now I kind of want one. My mom makes really good, like, cinnamon roll things. For homemade cinnamon rolls. Oh my gosh, those things are good.
I will
You
say,
should come over next time they make them.
I should.
She makes them.
I will say I am when it comes to homemade desserts, my favorite is cobbler, but that was not an option.
That's true. It was not.
But like my favorite desserts are like ice cream. In the summer, snow cones are number one, but just at normal times, it's ice cream, and then cobbler is number two. Pie might be number three. Cookies are hard to beat, but pie might be number three. It's either cookies or pie, but
for desserts, mine aren't very general like that. I'd say like.
Are they specific?
Yeah.
I could get specific.
I mean, like ice cream would be number one, not specific. Oh, actually, mint chocolate chip ice cream would be number one. I love mint chocolate chip. And then it would be like my mom's birthday cake.
Right.
My mom's blueberry pie. My mom's caramel cake. I don't know if
cobbler with ice cream.
See, I don't like. Is this like
dude? Yes.
Peach cobbler or just
any cobbler?
Because I don't like peach.
My mom makes.
Which really makes me
my
angry
mom makes a good blueberry cobbler.
But like peach cobbler's never sweet enough for me. It's never cinnamon enough.
Lauren makes such a good peach cobbler, and what we should do this one day. My mom makes a very good blueberry cobbler. We should like compare the blueberry cobbler to the blueberry pie.
I'm down. That means I get to eat blueberry pie.
Apple cobbler.
We'll get our moms in on this.
We should.
Battle of the moms.
Battle of the moms.
My mom would beat your mom in the cooking fight.
Could you imagine the thumbnail? But no, apple cobbler is very good, and pie also has a better a la mode option because I don't understand the love of ice cream and cake mixed together.
Dude, I like it, but I don't
like if it's an ice cream cake, that's different. But ice cream and cake mixed together just makes the cake lose its moisture, and it just becomes this weird gushy thing, in my opinion. When if it's a cobbler or a pie that's fresh out of the oven, the ice cream's going to get melted all in that, and it's going to be just this amazing combination of flavors.
It depends on the pie. Like, I wouldn't want ice cream on a blueberry pie. That's that's nasty.
I would love ice cream on a blueberry. If it's fresh, like
I like whipped cream or Cool Whip on a pie.
I like it. I like that with pumpkin pie because pumpkin pie you don't serve like warm. You know.
You don't serve this blueberry pie warm.
You don't. A warm apple pie with some ice cream, man. It's not the same as cobbler. Cobbler's already kind of like mushed and gooey and stuff.
I guess it's the fruit.
Where it doesn't like mess with the consistency, but
I think the best dessert with ice cream is brownies if it's hot.
If it's hot,
brownies. If it's like
if it's hot, I'm going cookies.
Absolutely smoldering.
I love a hot chocolate chip. A hot chocolate chip cookie with ice cream is where it's at. But I actually don't know because a warm cobbler with ice cream is just it's something to behold. It's special. But I don't know.
That's good.
If I was ranking specific desserts, it'd be like the Tonight Dale ice cream. Probably like my mama's apple cobbler, and then a bunch of different ice creams, and then my mama's buttermilk pie,
and then my mom's cake.
Yeah, your mom's cake, blueberry cobbler, peach cobbler, Easter egg pie, which is a specialty pie my mama makes just for me. No one else can have it.
You're so special. I had it. I ate it.
It's a very simple pie. I don't understand why I love it so much. It's not one of those I'd eat with ice cream either. But yeah, I don't know. We can move on from the dessert.
I wish I liked peach cobbler. I just don't.
I love peach cobbler, man.
Because I love peaches.
So good.
And I love mangoes, and there's no mangoes in peach cobbler.
That is true.
But
I should make a mango cobbler one day and see what happens.
I love mangoes.
I couldn't imagine mango cobbler being good, but
it's gotta be.
You would think. I mean,
peach cobbler's just it. Every time I get it, it looks divine, and then I put it in my mouth, and it's just mid, and it makes me really sad.
I don't know what my mama's thing is with apples, but she makes the 3 best apple desserts I've ever had. She makes a great apple cobbler.
Apples are the best dessert fruit.
A great apple pie, and she also makes apple dumplings, which are just absurdly good. I don't understand like what her deal is with apples.
I think somebody in my family made like apple fritters before or something like that. But like I don't know. Whatever it is, where it's just like apples cut up a little small, and then there's just like cinnamon
Mr.
on
Thomas
them, and
does
like
those.
other stuff.
Mr. Thomas does those. They're so good.
Oh,
He does
that
those
would
a
be
lot.
top 10 desserts easy for me. That crap's mwah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about desserts. I'm gonna learn how to bake. I'm gonna do it. And
we'll have a full. Well, we have a full kitchen here, but we'll have plenty of time to bake in the house.
I'm gonna learn. But as of right now, since I don't know how to learn baking, that made no sense. As of right now, since I don't know how to bake,
So you could learn.
we're going to just move on with the rest of Caleb AM.
Woohoo!
Which means we have to talk about our weeks.
Woohoo!
And I don't remember. I always forget who goes
I
when.
think you went first last time
Okay,
because you had a lot to talk about,
I did.
and you went to the beach,
That's right.
and then you said something, and then I said something that made you think of something you said. That's why I'm remembering.
Okay.
So it's my turn. My week.
I'm so excited.
Wednesday.
I remember Wednesday.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What happened Wednesday?
Me and you just hung out.
All day?
Pretty much. Because I had work.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
And I didn't have church that night, so I just kind of hung out here.
Wednesday was probably my least eventful day, but
Same. Except
we had Caleb in.
Yep.
Then you left
not
for work.
for work. Huh.
Yeah. It's funny you don't like peach cobbler, and yet your tag is peach crisp. I know, that's why I'm saying I wish I liked it. Because I love peaches, they're my favorite fruit, but like, I just don't like peach cobbler. It's sad. But,
Peach cobbler.
I know, I'm not happy about it.
So good. It's okay.
So Wednesday, I don't know if I did anything while you were at work. Somebody calling me? My mom is picking blueberries to make a blueberry pie. Yes, it worked. I've convinced her. Let's go.
Imagine
So
picking blueberries while watching Caleb AM. That's got to be a good time.
that's the life right
That's
there.
got to be a great time.
I can't wait to do that when I'm old. Not that my mom is old. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, just one day, I can't wait to throw it on, and when I'm 80 years old.
No, okay, I read that so wrong. I thought you meant like we were going to be doing Caleb AM while picking blueberries.
And we're like 65
Do you really
years
think
old.
when we're 80 we're not going to be doing the show anymore? I'm going to drive over to your house every Wednesday to do this show, man.
Yeah.
Until like the good Lord calls us home.
You won't do it by yourself? With an empty chair if I'm the first one gone?
No.
That's fair. I wouldn't want to do it either.
I would cry every Wednesday.
I used to be with Caleb.
I would never.
But hey, I'm alive. It's okay.
Yeah, you are.
I did the most death-defying thing I've ever done this week.
Mhm.
But so I'll get to that. Wednesday I probably played like Tears of the Kingdom or like watched TV while you were gone, and then you came back,
I did.
and me, you, and one of Andy's roommates, Jacob, went to play disc golf at Wise. We didn't finish the round. We got to like 13,
But yeah.
and then we played 17 and 18, so we skipped 14, 15, and 16.
You don't mind me mentioning, because our Wednesdays are basically the same day. It was the worst round of disc golf I ever played.
It was.
And I lost it. I lost my favorite driver, or second favorite driver.
It's probably still out there.
Probably is, but there was a snake.
Yeah.
It went in this creek, and this huge snake just goes by, and we were both reluctant to get it.
Yeah.
So that was my Wednesday. Was everything Caleb is saying plus losing my favorite disc. So I won't do Wednesday when my week comes around because that was that. Go ahead.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
I had a bad time. And it's hole 6's fault because I started out pretty good, and then hole 6.
I started out pretty good too.
Anyways,
But I think it was.
Yeah.
It started with the back 9 for me. Or some hole, I don't know. I started doing bad out of nowhere.
I hate hole 6, man.
But, do we do anything important after?
I think we just chilled the rest of the day, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so that's all we did. We chilled. Wednesday was a chill day.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think. I don't know. My brain's gone fried about what I've done, but
we should have watched New Girl. I don't know why we didn't.
we really should have. So Thursday, you had work. I had to go home to pack my room up because I didn't get much done when I went home earlier in the week, but I talked about that on Caleb MS last week. So, yeah, you were at work. I was here. I packed up all the stuff I needed to go home, and then I was gonna wait for you to get back, but then I was just gonna I need to go home, so I left. But I did see you when I left. I went to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm. I was walking back and he drove the hole.
It was a very touching goodbye. There were some tears. It's not goodbye. I'll see you later. That was sad. But yeah, no. I go home.
Oh, that's funny.
And yeah, Thursday I had to be home to pack my room on Thursday because Friday afternoon I was leaving. Did I go on Wednesday? No, I didn't. So Friday afternoon I was leaving to go to Birmingham, so I had to pack my room on Thursday. So I got home, and instead of packing my room, I plugged our Wii U back in and tested Mario Party 8 to see if it worked, and then I played a round of Mario Party 8, and then I went and packed my room, and so my room is like sad and empty now. It's kind of sad and empty, so it's kind of sad, but yeah, so that's what I did, and then I got like most of it done, like my closet saw stuff in it, but we're like selling my bed and the other stuff, so they had to get everything off of it to like take pictures of it to put it online or something, I don't know. And then I hopped in bed to go to sleep, watched some President AI videos, played my Switch until I got too tired, and then I went to sleep. And then Friday, I woke up. I was supposed to bring... What's going on over there?
I'm writing something. You remind me about something about mommy.
Oh, okay.
Admin.
Friday, I was supposed to bring Jack this game, Splatoon 2.
Why?
Because
Did he want it?
he was going to buy it off of me so he could play the story mode. Because, like, you can't really play the game anymore because it's Splatoon 3's out, so everybody's playing that. But so he wanted it was like he wasn't going to, like, do a lot. Like, I think he was going to need like $10 for it to play, so he could play the story mode and the DLC.
I guess that makes sense.
So
I hate that game.
I hate Splatoon.
I love the first one.
The first one was great. I hated the second one. I despised the third one. It makes me mad. But I hate more that I spent money on the second one because I could have bought Breath of the Wild, but I went for Splatoon 2. Kill me.
Regrettable purchases part 1.
Literally, that's one of my biggest regrets in purchasing things. Like, it was awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was supposed to bring that to Jack. I set it on my desk to get, and it was one of those like GameStop packages where like it's not the cover of the game. It just says like it's just red and white. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And it says like the game in small print on the front. So I wasn't paying attention. I just set it there to remember to bring it. And then the next day I woke up and I put it in my backpack. And then finished packing all my stuff, and I left for Birmingham around 12:30ish. And I think this was the first time that I drove to Birmingham by myself, so
Nice.
that's probably not true, but I kind of think it is. I'm not sure. Because normally whenever I go to Birmingham, it's because me and Andy are going together.
Right.
So, but I was going to Birmingham because I had to pick Andy up from the airport on Saturday night, and I was like, I'm not driving to Birmingham on Saturday night to drive back on Saturday night. I'm going to see if Jack will let me spend the night on Friday night, and then we can hang out. And obviously he said yes.
Because Jack is a real one.
He's a real one for that. Love you, Jack.
Only he watched the show.
He actually does sometimes. On, like, if it's not a busy day at work, he'll put it on while he's working.
Does he go to work at 6:30? I mean, I guess a lot of people do. My mom's at work at 6:30.
No, like he'll watch it after, like not live.
That makes sense too.
Works at 9, I think, or 8.
Working 9 to 5.
Yeah, probably 9.
I love how we both just like knew exactly what to do when you said that.
Yeah. So
our friendship.
You're such a good friend.
You're such a good
Yeah. So I'm on my way. I had made some planned stops, and by planned stops I mean I stopped at one gas station to see their Bang selection. It was weak as freak, obviously, because it's a Bang, and nobody has any good Bangs these days. Well, I take that back. Most places have peach mango and cherry blade lemonade, which are my 2 favorite flavors. But I want to see some of my other favorite flavors, because that's all I've been drinking lately. And every once in a while I'll get a rainbow unicorn, because most places have it too.
Bang needs to get on it, man.
Give me something that I want to see. They also said that they were going to put a new flavor out in April.
It's
Someone's
May.
June.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's the last day of May.
Crap.
Get on with it.
Dude, we had a horrible May in terms of Next Topic Media.
We didn't do much.
I did not realize that it's...
We were supposed to film 2
I know.
top 10s, and we haven't.
We haven't.
We could do that Saturday.
We should do that Saturday. Good Lord.
Yeah, no.
May's already over. Holy crap.
Yeah, this wasn't a good month for us.
Woo!
Except for Caleb AM.
Yeah, no, Caleb AM stayed on schedule.
Stays strong.
Holding down the fort of Next
And-
Media.
Tomorrow, we get to watch Spider-Verse, and we'll record a Peach Chris for it, right after we watch it.
Spider-Verse.
That's tomorrow. Did you forget about that?
No, I didn't forget about that. Spider-Verse, man.
I'm excited. I started shaking. I'm so excited. Where was I? Oh, so I was on my way. I stopped at a gas station to check the Bangs. I didn't have much, so I
gas station to check out the Bangs.
I ended up not getting one
I
because
felt like sinking.
I'm glad you did. Because I brought a Bang from my house to drink, so I already had one. I just wanted to see if they had any good ones. And then I stopped in Tuscaloosa at the Barnes and Noble because last time I was there, they had everything I needed in my collection that's growing, and they really didn't this time, and I was sad because the manga I wanted the most was just not there, and I was like, golly, man, this stinks. I did end up buying one of Dr. Stone. Great show. So, but I almost bought several just because, and I was like, you know what? Because I asked in the group chat how many should I buy. Colton said 3, and I was like, I need to save money. I'm just going to buy one. And I'm so glad that happened.
Yeah.
Because I'll get to that. So Friday, after that, I needed gas really bad, and I thought that gas was cheap in Tuscaloosa, so I waited until Tuscaloosa, and it was all $3.29. I was like, dang it! But there was a Shell station that was $3.09, and I get 5 cents off at a Shell station. So I did that, and then right when I got on the highway, there was a $2.89 Love's, and I was like,
that's sick.
ugh. But I had already got gas.
That's not sick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't sick.
Yeah, it was sick, but the actual meaning of sick, not the.
Yeah, it made me. I hurled chunks. And the gas station, the Shell I stopped at, had 0 Bangs in it, and it also smelled disgusting. But I was so hungry, I had to get a little snack and some water. And my snack and water smelled bad because the gas station smelled bad. So that was cool.
Makes sense.
but I didn't want to spoil the potential dinner that they might have for me at Jack's house. So, keep going. The last hour of my drive was pretty smooth. I threw on my trip to Birmingham playlist that I talked about last week, and that was fun. I didn't get all the way through it because I added a few more songs that I really wanted to listen to. I don't know what songs, but they might have been good. Let's see. But so I finally got to Jack's, and he was there. Oh, I added Wings and Montana Sky, and I Will Wait, Weird, and I re-added maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. My phone's really weird with John Bellion music, and it kind of makes me mad. Jack was wearing a shirt that said, like, Montana Sky. And I was like, is this a reference to the hit Jonas Brothers song? And he was like, no. And I was like, it has to be.
Yes, it is, and you just don't know it.
Me and his wife, Caroline, kind of geeked out about Jonas Brothers
Really?
for a little bit.
That's sick.
She hasn't listened to the album. She listened to the singles, but she was talking about how, like, she wants to. I was like, you need to listen
so
to it.
Good.
It's really good.
Oh, my goodness.
And,
God. That's no business being as good as it is either. It's just that good.
Before Caroline got there, me and Jack, we laughed about, there's like I didn't know it was out, but there's a Lord of the Rings Gollum game.
It's horrible.
And it looks terrible. It's terrible.
It's like one of the worst reviewed games of all time.
Yeah, no. I was like, I heard about it coming out, but I didn't know that it was out. And I was like, this is pathetically bad.
No, it's horrible.
And so we were like laughing at reviews of that and stuff. And so that was funny. Then we talked about Overwatch for a little bit because Overwatch is stinky poo-poo right now because
all the homies hate Overwatch right now.
It makes me really sad because it's like literally my favorite game ever and it sucks right now. But still threw on the Overwatch League because they were going on. So we were watching Overwatch League and then Caroline got back from wherever she was and talked about Jonas Brothers.
The Joe Bros.
Yeah, we talked about Dim. There was something. Then I told them all about Isaac's wedding and all the funny stuff that happened that I talked about last week. And then my mom called me, and we'll get back to this later. My mom called me, and she was like, hey, Caleb, somebody asked us if we wanted to go skydiving. Do you want to come with us? And I was like, heck no. Absolutely not. No. Because just the thought of jumping out of a plane was enough to make me want to throw up. So sure. I was like, no. No. Sorry, Mom. Y'all have fun. No, I'm not jumping out of a plane. So that was that. Then we had dinner. Caroline cooked dinner. It was really good. Then we talked about my love life. That was really nice. I had like counseling from a married couple, so yay. Yeah, that happened. They were giving me advice and stuff, so that was cool.
That's good.
So then me and Jack, we decided that we were going to go to this store called Second and Charles. It has a bunch of like just nerd stuff and books and all that. And I was hoping that they would have the first and second book of the book that I showed off last week, because that was the third book in the series. Mm-hmm. But it's like right after the TV show, so I didn't mind getting it and reading it because it wasn't. I knew what happened. But there's also like a long manga of it of the show. It's like this big. It's kind of thick. That I had never seen before, and I kind of wanted it because I like the show. But it's like $30, so I know it's never going to buy it if I saw it. But so we go to the Second and Charles. We were looking for Wii remotes and nunchucks because I brought all my Wii games to his place because he has a Wii U, but he only had one controller, and I didn't know that. Or I would have brought my one controller that I had, but it was broken, so, you know. But a broken controller would have done. But so for some reason, they didn't have any. They had like off-brand Wii controllers for $30, and they looked disgusting, and they were called like New Waves. It was awful. I was like, what is this? This is just rancid. So needless to say, we did not buy them. But then while we were leaving, I looked to my left because I looked for the book that I wanted and I didn't see it. But I looked to my left and then I saw it. But I saw like the book I bought. I was like, oh yo, this is the book I bought. I pulled it out. I bought it for $25 and it was on sale for $12. And I was like, dang. It was not in the best condition, and that's why it was on sale. So I'm still glad I got the one I got. And when I put it back in, I noticed that they had the manga version of it. I was like, oh! And I pulled it out, and that one was on sale for $12. And I was like, yo! And I was like, what? It's not even in that bad condition. Like, there's a little bit of, like, peeling on the front. And now, compared it to the other one, I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, the pages were yellow and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what? $12, I'm gonna get it. So I got that. That was cool. It's in my room now. And then we decided we were going to go to the vitamin shop to see if they had nectarine blueberries. They didn't. Thanks, vitamin shop. Screw you!
That caffeine has gotten to me quick, dude. I'm shaking.
I gotta wake fast.
I'm hyped, man.
Then we went to GameStop to see if they had Wii controllers. They were closed. And then we went to Target to see if they had Wii controllers. They did not. And so we were like, dang. And so we went back to the apartment, finished watching an Overwatch League game. Our favorite team lost. Very sad. Then we played Tears of the Kingdom while we watched Impractical Jokers, which you wouldn't think would be a fun time when you're hanging out with friends, but it was a great time because we were playing Tears of the Kingdom while watching Impractical Jokers. So
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. Just chilled. Then at midnight, we got hungry, went to Taco Bell, and then we came back, and we weren't really watching the clock, and we were trying to go to sleep a little bit early because I had to drive back the next day at night at that. So around 2, his wife came out, Caroline came out, and she was like, it's 2 o'clock. And I was like, oh gosh, it is 2 o'clock. And we had woke her up and I felt bad.
Aww.
But, so we went to sleep after that. I didn't fall asleep until like 2:45 or 3 probably, but that's whatever. I made it back, so it's fine. Yeah, so that was Friday. Saturday, we woke up, we decided we were going to go to a thrift store to see if they had Wii controllers.
Anything?
I think we did something before. Oh, I played some Mario Sports Mix before. It was a Saturday morning. I felt like a little kid because I woke up on a Saturday morning, slept on the couch, woke up on the couch, wake up, I turned the Wii on, and then the married people come out of their room.
People come out.
And they like ask me what I want for breakfast. And then they give me what I want for breakfast and a glass of apple juice while I'm playing the Wii. I felt like a little kid. I was like, I'm getting served breakfast playing the Wii on a Saturday morning.
That was literally childhood.
It was incredible. It was like...
I'm coming back here every weekend.
It was awesome. I was like, this doesn't happen often.
This is the greatest day of my life.
It was so cool. Like, oh wow. It was like, this just... I feel like a little kid. I was just playing the Wii, getting breakfast. I ate blueberry muffins and had apple juice, and it was awesome. But yeah, that was so cool. Thanks, Caroline and Jack, for giving me breakfast.
I love when you get happy. I get happy, and then
it was just so funny. Like I was sitting there eating, and I was like, you know, it's a Saturday morning. I woke up, instantly started playing the Wii, and then y'all came out and served me breakfast. Like this is like the most childish Saturday morning thing I think I've ever done since being a child. So yeah, there was that. Then we went thrift shopping. The first place we went to had nothing good, so we left. Though they did have all the Hunger Game movies.
Interesting.
And they were like $3 each, and I was like, if I had a DVD player, I'd probably buy these, honestly, because that's just $12 for the whole
thrift
series.
Stores are the best places to buy DVDs.
They really are.
It's like, there's this one, when I was in Hot Springs over Christmas break, there was like this huge like thrift store flea market thing. They had like almost any movie you could think of. Like that's where I got The Departed, and I got it for 50 cents, and the DVD works, and I'm like, heck yeah.
Dang.
But now it's streaming on Netflix and HBO Max, so there's no point in having the DVD.
oh, I should watch it.
It's so good. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. I ended up telling Riley that they had the Hunger Games movies because that's who we watched it with, and I thought it was funny. And then she's been skydiving before, and as y'all remember on Friday, I was invited to go skydiving, and like after Friday night when me and Jack went places, I have a bucket list on my phone. I went and looked at it, and go skydiving was on my bucket list, and I was thinking about it at that point. I was like, it's on my bucket list.
This is a chance.
This is a chance to do it for free. So for me, obviously it wasn't free, but I was like, oh goodness, no, it's kind of scary. I don't think I want to. And I was like calling all my friends on Friday, like, please go skydiving with me, please. You said no. Connor said no. Daniel said no. So Colton said no. Daniel said he would, but he was going on vacation. I accidentally asked Charlie, but you have to be 19. And I felt bad because like I asked him and Connor at the same time, and then I deleted the chat. I was like, he can't go. He's not 19. I felt bad.
Dang.
But he said he really wanted to. So me, him, and Connor might go next year for his birthday. If you want to pull up and go skydiving.
Sure.
Because I get half off if I go within a year. I think. Because I didn't go skydiving or anything. But, so... oops. Spoilers. So yeah, everybody was saying no. Jack said maybe if it was cheaper. And I was like, dang, yeah. But I was like heavily considering it. And then I think Riley's been skydiving before. And then I was like, haven't you been skydiving? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I got offered to go. I don't know if I want to. I think I need more prep time. And she was like, I literally decided to go the day before I went. You should go. And I was like,
word.
But I'm scared. I don't know.
I'm gonna die.
I don't want to die skydiving. But so I was like, maybe I should. The one person I know that's been is telling me I should go, and they survived. So
they seem fine.
Yeah. So then Friday night, we picked Andy up from the airport. We went to Olive Garden to eat. Jack paid for our food. Bless up, Jack. He's a real one for that.
The real.
Then we lost track of time in the Olive Garden. We were talking. We had some good conversations. We really bonded together.
Deep conversations at the Olive Garden.
That's literally what it was. And there was 3 of us too, and there's 3 Jonas Brothers. Wow, that's so deep.
Crazy.
We lost track of time, and it was a 2-hour drive from Birmingham, and it was like. We looked at the clock, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, oh, crap. I have to drive back. That sucks. And so we went back to Jack's place to get my stuff and let Andy say hi to Caroline, and then we left. He said, it's not goodbye, but it don't feel like see you later. That's what we said. This isn't goodbye, it's a see you later. 2 times this week. And so we left. Me and Andy, I drank a bang to get me home, and me and Andy listened to a lot of we listened to a lot of Andy Mineo on the way back.
I love Andy Mineo.
Some Lecrae, some Andy Mineo. We listened to Alter by Holvey. We was wrapping it up in the car, bro.
Rabbity rap.
It was a good drive back.
Good rap too.
And then we ran out of songs to listen to, so we swapped over to my just general playlist. Listened. That was fun. Then we got back, went to sleep because it was Saturday night. So Sunday, at dinner on Friday, I convinced Andy to go skydiving, and I said if you go, I'll go. So
that's how you get someone to do it.
Yeah. And so his thing was if I go, he'd go. Mine was if he went, I went. So I was like, I guess we're going.
Guess you gotta go.
So that was when we kind of decided we were going to do it. So Sunday, I was scared all of Sunday. I went to church. My dad's second to last Sunday, very sad, at Fairview. So then afterwards, I drove back here to get my discs so I could play disc golf with Connor, because I was like, you know what? If I'm going to die tomorrow skydiving, I want to get one last round of disc golf in. And stay tuned to find out if I lived.
Spoiler alert, he didn't.
It's done for. So I went and played disc golf, and I played out of my mind. I played so good. I went 6 down, which is my PB at Lake Lowndes. What sucks was the last 4 holes we played, I was 7 down, and I was like, I can get a few birdies here. I could finish 10 down. And then I bogeyed one of the holes and parred the rest, so I ended 6 down. Very sad, but I can't complain. I had a 6 down round. It was like my best round at Lake Lowndes. Yeah. I was hoping to finish 7 down because that's my best at Lakeside, so I was like, they'd be the same score. But, it's kind of whatever. And I think Lake Lowndes is a harder course than Lakeside. So,
I agree. Considering that my PB at Lakeside is 3 under and my PB at Lake Lowndes is even.
Yeah, so.
It definitely is.
Mine was 4 down or 5 down, I think, but now it's 6 down, so. Yeah, there was that. And then afterwards, my parents were going to get dinner, so we didn't have dinner plans. So I went home, and I just went straight to my bed. I took a shower because I was dirty from disc golf, and then I went to my bed and got in. It was like 4:40, 4:30, something like that. Made a long queue of President AI videos, threw in some Impractical Jokers videos, so I wouldn't get bored of President videos. Not that I would ever get bored of President videos, but and I got on my Switch, and then I played Tears of the Kingdom and watched YouTube from 4:40 to 10:30 ish. So it was great. It was just the most lazy Sunday I've ever had after I played disc golf. So that was fun. But I was really just scared about Monday. I didn't want to stop and think about how I was potentially jumping out of a plane at 14,000 feet. And so I went to sleep, woke up on Monday, and I was still like, I don't think this is actually happening. Like, I don't think we're actually going to go. And then I woke up, I watched a few more President videos in my bed, played a little bit more Tears of the Kingdom after I woke up, and then Andy and my mom were like, all right, let's go. And I was like, okay, let's do this thing. And it was like 3 hours away. Mm-hmm. And so we got in the car, start driving, and we left around 10. And then around 11, I snapped Jack, and I jokingly was like, you want to come skydiving? Because I had already asked him, but he was like, it's too expensive. And he was like, it's too expensive. And I was like, all right, if we pay for $100 of it, will you go? And he was like, are you joking? I was like, no. Will you go? And he was like, yeah, let me ask Caroline. And she was like, yeah, you can go. And I was like, you want to come if we pay for $100 of it? And he was like, sure, I'll be there. And so he pulled up to the skydiving place. Yeah. And like, so that was the most impulsive decision ever. Like 3 hours before we were supposed to be there, he was just like, I'll go skydive. I was like, that could not be me. But, so he pulled up to the skydiving place, at 1, and then the saddening but possible blessing was that it was cloudy, and they wouldn't let you jump if it was too cloudy because they couldn't see the ground, right? And they need to know if they're landing in the correct spot or not, and if it's clouds, you can't see it. Mm-hmm. So I was getting to the point where I was calming myself down, thinking about how I wasn't going to jump out of a plane, but I really wanted to jump out of a plane, but I was too scared to jump out of a plane because that's scary. So like I was like in this weird thing where like I was excited not to because that was horrifying and we would just reschedule to another day, but I was also like, I will be very upset if I leave without doing it because I might talk myself out of it. And so I was like, please God, just give us a hole in the clouds that we can get up and see through so we can jump. And then we were waiting for a long time. We were supposed to jump at 2. Mm-hmm. And we didn't at 2. It was like 4 o'clock. I went outside to get my phone, and it was like 3:30 probably. I went outside. I left my phone in my mom's car. Me and Jack went to get our phones because we were just kind of sitting around. And when we came back in, the dude at the desk was like, all right, guys, we're heading out. Let's do this. And he wasn't talking to us. He was just saying it. And I was like, huh? And I look over, and then there was 2 groups of us. And the first group was just getting on the plane. I was like, oh, no, it's happening.
This is it.
Oh, man, this is not good. But so they get on the plane. We go over and sit down, and we wait for them. Oh, and I'll mention this while we waited for them. Like, we got in, like, the harnesses and stuff. at first I wasn't wearing the jumpsuit because I wanted to be cool and just be wearing normal clothes. But they were like, it does get really cold up there, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should just.
You
wear
probably
it.
should.
If I go again, I will probably wear normal clothes because I might wear a suit, dude. Jumping out of the sky in a suit. That'd be
I'd wear
sick.
my Spider-Man costume.
Dude, oh my goodness, that'd be so cold.
Dude, I know.
Dude, that would be sick.
I would probably die from coldness before hitting the ground.
No, by cold I mean that would be cool.
Oh.
I don't think it would be too cold.
It would freeze.
You know, it wasn't freezing. It really wasn't.
Well, you had a jumpsuit on.
I promise you, it wasn't too bad. Also, your adrenaline is rushing so much you don't notice it. So
Spider-Man hat.
I think you should do that, dude. That would be the coolest thing ever. But yeah. So I put my thing on without the jumpsuit, and then everybody else got one. My mom didn't, but she was wearing like long sleeves and stuff. And I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and I was like, maybe I should get the jumpsuit. And so while my dude was in the air, they do look cool. When I was like, hey, can I put a jumpsuit on? And he was like, yeah. And so they took my thing off. I went and used the restroom because I had to pee really bad, and threw my jumpsuit on, put it back on, and so I felt cool.
Nice.
But so the first time while I was putting it on, my dive instructor, cool dude, I hope I get him again. He was like, I thought there was going to be a long like safety class or something that we had to sit through, but literally all we got was like, all right, so when we jump out, you're going to put your hands like this, lean your head back, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, jump out, and then you're going to do this and do this when I tap you. And I was like, okay, like it was freezing on the plane right up. I don't think it was, but my mom was closest to the window, so yeah, I was telling him, I was like, do not let me talk myself out of jumping. Like, if I get on the plane, force me to go. And he's like, I will force you to go. And I was like, thanks, man. But yeah, so I got a few basic things to do, but like it kind of makes sense because there's nothing I do.
Right.
Like, he pulls the parachute and all that. So it's kind of just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, I'll do this and fall. And so they get back down. I thought that there was going to be a little bit of a break, like they were going to refuel the plane or something. But as soon as they got back, and I was like, they got to redo the parachutes and all that, that my dive instructor found me. He's like, all right, let's go. And he was like the leader of them, I guess. And so he went over to the plane, and I thought that he was like wanting me to stand with the rest of the people. And he's like, come on, Caleb, let's do this. And I was like, am I going by myself? And like, we were the first ones on the plane, and nobody was following us. I was like, oh no, this isn't good. But he was like, all right, so we're just going to sit like this. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is happening. I needed more time. This isn't good.
This isn't good.
I was like, I need more time. I was hoping for like a long period, like long plane ride up, and then we're gonna be sitting there for a little bit before we jump. But so everybody else gets on the plane. Thankfully, I was not by myself. It was me, Andy, Jack, my mom. So the order was gonna be Jack jumps, and then my mom jumps, and then either me or Andy jump. I was like, I don't want to go last, so I'll jump third. Andy jumps last.
Mm-hmm.
And so the plane starts. We start going up. I was like, this isn't real. There's no way this is actually happening.
And I'm about to jump off
like,
the plane.
I'm taking off in a plane, and my goal is to not land in the plane. I'm supposed to land on my feet or on my butt. But like, I was getting nervous. I was like, there's no way. Oh man, this isn't good. And we start going up, and we get like to the cloud layer, and then I was like, all right, we're like halfway there. And then my instructor's like, don't worry, bud. We still got like 12,000 more feet to go. I was like,
good.
No. This is high enough. This is just no. Which is kind of funny to think about because like at a certain point, it really doesn't matter what height you're at. You're dying if you hit the ground either way. So
at this point,
why
don't we just keep going?
So we just keep going up, and like after like 5 minutes, like we're halfway. I was like, oh gosh. I'm like looking. I was like, no, this is insane. This is just, oh man. And I think he could tell, my dive instructor could tell I was like the most nervous.
Oh yeah.
And cause like everybody else was like,
I wasn't there.
was like goofing off with theirs, and he was like messing with me. But he would mess with me and be like, "Don't worry, bro, we're gonna be fine." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah."
Him telling you you're gonna be fine is messing with you.
No, like he would mess with me and then say afterwards,
okay.
like, "Don't worry, bro, we're gonna be fine."
The
And he was like, "Dude, you're gonna jump out of a plane today." I was like, "Yeah, I sure am." And then like he was like 2 minutes out from jumping was when they attached us, like, and I was like,
That seems like not enough time.
Did we not test this or anything? Like the whole time they were slowly like getting us attached, but like right before we jumped, like we scooch in close, he gets us attached, they check it, make sure it's working. He like quadruple checked all my buckles and all that, thankfully. He couldn't have checked those enough though. So then he handed me my goggles to put on. He made sure they wouldn't come off, and then like they were like, "All right, we're ready." And then the two people in the front of the plane, they were just like normal, like they knew they were jumping by themselves, not tandem, which is when there's two people. And so they just like one dude like climbs out of the plane and he's just sitting out there, like holding on the outside of the plane. I was
that's cool.
That is so cool.
That's cool, dude.
And then
oh, man.
The other dude walks up and they like jump out at the same time, and when they jump out they do like this thing, like they like do this when they jump out, and so they're just like falling like that. For a second I was like, that is so cool. That's so cool, man. And so I told Andy that if I jumped before him, if it was an option, I wanted to like jump backwards so I could do like the little Chris Pratt thing and flip him off when I jumped out. I wouldn't actually flip him off, honestly, but I would have ring fingered it. But you don't jump out of the plane backwards though. But so he was like, so my Aunt Jack just he walks up and then they go 1, 2, 3. He falls out of the plane. Then my mom goes, they just fall out of the plane. I was like, I thought there was gonna be more time than this. Like I thought there was gonna be like they jump and then we wait 30 seconds and then jump, but no. And while my mom was jumping, we were walking, and I was like, no, come on, no, this isn't real. Please no. And he was like, all right, just put your feet out of the plane. I was like, what? And my feet are dangling out of the plane. I was like, oh gosh. And so he's like right behind me, and then he's like, you ready? And I was like, yeah. And then like I like looked down for a second. I was like, nope. And I look up and close my eyes, and he's like, all right. And then I was like, no. And like, because at this point, all you do left is fall forward. And so I was like, no. And then like we did like a couple front flips when we went on the plane, which was sick. But like I'm like, oh gosh. And then I open my eyes and like just while I'm flipping through the air, I can see like clouds, and then clouds are above me, and then clouds are below me again. It was the most surreal thing ever, dude. It was crazy. I got an eye booger. Oh my goodness. And like, so then I'm like holding like this, and then he taps my shoulder, and that's when I'm supposed to do this and like kick my feet back. And like, obviously I was horrified for a split second, but then like after just a little bit, I was like, you only free fall for like 60 seconds, but after just a couple seconds, I like relaxed, and I was just like,
falling.
I was just falling from 14,000 feet in the air. I was just like, whoa! And I started like screaming like, whoa, yeah! But you can't hear anything in the air because the wind's so loud.
Right.
I was most worried at that point about like breathing. I was like, if the parachute's not going to work, it's not going to work. I was scared of like passing out in the air. But breathing was pretty easy. And then like, it was a little bit scary because you're falling, and then like, it doesn't really feel like you're moving.
Did you just say if the parachute's not going to open, it's not going to open?
Yeah, if it's not going to
deploy. You weren't worried about the parachute? That was your logic?
If the parachute... The way I thought about it was if the parachute is not going to open... If
I'm going to die...
If the parachute's not going to open, and I'm going to die today, I'm going to enjoy my last minute and a half. Like, I'm going to fall and not be scared. So that's what I did. I wasn't scared in the air.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that's just funny to me. I was really worried about the breathing part, because, the parachute doesn't open, the parachute doesn't open.
I didn't want to die from, like, a freaking heart attack.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying. It just sounded funny.
Yeah, and I was scared of passing out, because they were talking about how it could get hard to breathe, and I was like, oh, no, I don't like that. But it was easy to breathe. It was crazy how it was hard to breathe through your mouth, because wind is just, like, destroying your mouth if you open it. But, like, it's really easy to breathe through your nose. But at one point, I thought my head wasn't, like, tilted back enough. And so I, like, looked up, and there was just, like, 120-mile-per-hour wind just straight into my nose. I was like, nope, that's not right.
Nope, that ain't.
And so it was so cool, like, looking around just at the clouds.
Was it easy to, like, move your head around and stuff?
It actually was. I couldn't, like, move naturally or anything, but it was pretty easy to move my head. And we also, like, directed a little bit by, like, moving our arms, which was cool.
and then like the clouds were getting closer, and I was like, it's kind of you're about to hit something and you know it's not solid, but you can't see the other side. I was like, what if they constructed the Empire State Building right here?
What if like
But so
what if like clouds actually aren't salt?
Dude, that hit me for a split second. But then like we hit the clouds, and I was like, this might be the coolest
You're
thing
in
ever.
a
Like
cloud.
I'm
That's
physically inside of a cloud
That's
right now.
sick.
I ate some in the cloud. It was just water. Breathing that was the hardest part for breathing. It was like a little bit hard to breathe in the cloud, but I think that's because I scared myself while we were in it. I had to close my eyes for a little bit in the cloud because it was a lot longer than I thought it would be, or taller. And so like I was just seeing white for a very long time, and it was kind of like, am I dead? But so then we got out of the cloud, and pretty shortly after we got out of the cloud, they deployed the chute. And I was nervous about deploying the chute because I thought it was going to like kick you really bad, and it really didn't. But then he was like, all right, don't worry, bro, you're good. And he started like loosening the straps. And I was like, oh gosh, no. What is happening? Like, I'm like, and he was like, just making it more comfortable. Because me and him were like, we were tight on each other. So, and then like my legs were getting a little cramped on the parachute glide down. But it was gorgeous. Like, we was just like pointing out like different places. And he was like, welcome to my office, bro. And I was like,
That's
dude,
a cool office.
That's a cool office.
That's cool.
He asked me, as soon as we started paragliding, or parachuting, he was like, so, what'd you think? And I was like, wow, whoa, oh my, wow. I like had no words, understandably. I think the first words I got out of my mouth were, God is good, because it was really pretty.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the parachute glide down was really fun. It was like, we did a couple spins, like he would like do this, and we would go, and it was cool because like the parachute would get like level, and you were literally just spinning like that. It was so cool. And I was like, whee! And then but the ground was getting closer, and we weren't going to be in the air for much longer. But we got to spin around. He was like, look at that. That's where we took off. Isn't that crazy? And then we land, and the first thing he said to me was like, dude, you just jumped out of a plane. I was like, oh yeah, I did. He was like, did you think about how, like, you took off on a plane, but you didn't land in the plane? I was like, no, I did not think about that. That's pretty cool. That's sick. And so, yeah.
I have a question about the landing. Like, what did y'all have to do? Did you land on your butts, or, like...
You kick your feet out, and you just go, like, and then you slide. Okay. You come in pretty fast, but not too fast. But if you tried to land on your legs and you weren't good, you'd probably break your
That's
legs.
what I was asking.
The professionals, when they go by themselves, they, like...
Running.
Land running.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool.
I've seen people do that, and then I've seen people just like, I was just curious how you did. Because I was like, when you took, that's like, skydiving has never been something I've always wanted to do. Like, I think it's cool as crap, but like, it's not been on my bucket list, but I've always been worried about like the landing part, because I've been worried like I'm going to.
Yeah, no, you just kick your feet out. It wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got up, packed he made, like, we had to make sure, we had to wait for everybody to get down before we moved, and then we all walked over to the landing zone, and I hugged Jack, and I was like, we survived. Did I mention that Jack? Yeah, I did.
You did.
Jack was there. So yeah, that was skydiving, and it was the coolest thing I've ever done, and I keep randomly thinking about it, and I'll think about what I actually did, and how, like, at one point, just 2 days ago, I was 14,000 feet in the air with nothing around me, so... pretty cool. It was, oh gosh, it was so cool. And I can't wait to go, oh, Jack's texting me.
It's probably about skydiving.
And I sent him a very long text last night, so I doubt it. So...
Hey, bro, this long text is unnecessary. We jumped out
of a plane. I'm not reading this.
Life's too short.
Life's too short. Yeah. But they have like a thing where if you go, you can put $25 down and get like $80-something off the next time you go. So I have a total, if you count the 25, like 100-something off the next time I go. So if I go within a year. So I'm going to try to go again within a year. Next summer, I guess. Just wow. I wish you were there. It would have been very cool if you were there. Because we both could have talked about it on Caleb AM.
We could have.
But it was like the coolest thing ever. By far. Like, I don't know. It is very hard to explain the feeling of jumping out of a plane. Because, like, I was scared as freak.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, as soon as in the air, I was pretty calm. And it was just like, I was just enjoying it while I was there, and now I wish I was in the air again. My instructor told me that if I came again and asked for him, he would let me like pull the chute though, like open the parachute.
I wouldn't trust myself.
And I was like, I don't know about that. But he did say he would let me steer, like
I also don't trust myself.
I was like, I could see myself doing that. I would pass him back when we were about to land, but I could see myself doing that. And he was like, we could also try some more intense stuff. And I was like,
No.
I think jumping out of a plane was intense enough for me. But
Yeah, I jumped out of a plane. What else do
Yeah,
you want from
so-
me, man?
he was a cool dude. So I am going to go again and ask for him. I hope I get him. But yeah, so that was that. That was Monday. And then Tuesday was honestly just as good of a day. Yesterday was a very good day.
That's good.
A little sad, but Tuesday we woke up. I woke up, not we. I'm one singular person. Woke up.
We collectively as society woke up.
I didn't do much. I packed all my stuff. I did forget my dock kit, my toiletries, so I didn't have any of that when I was here. But I had to leave a little. I was gonna leave at like 9, but I was really tired, so we ended up sleeping in a little bit, and we didn't leave it. Me and Andy left at like 10:30ish, and we had to meet somebody to get him an architecture job, like a one-time architecture job, basically like draw a building or something. And so we did that, and then we came to Starkville. We stopped by here, dropped off all my stuff. Andy helped me unload, and got the Wii U in here and set up the Wii U. And then, yeah. And then we went to Andy's house to drop Andy off. Me and JJ went with him. Dropped Andy off, and then me and JJ went to Kroger. And you know how Kroger has those coin things?
Mm-hmm.
I had a massive thing of coins in my car, and I had a lot of I had a bunch of spaces where coins were in my car, and so I got all the coins out of some places, and then the bucket I had was getting filled, and I was like, I'll leave these coins for later. And so I still have a lot of coins in my car, and I was looking at the bucket. I was like, this is probably like $30 of coins. That's hype. I'm about to make $30. And then we go into Kroger, and I go to the coin thing, and it's taking forever. And then we get done with like the top layer, and it was already $10. And I was like, oh shoot, maybe this is more money than I thought. And I was finding some special coins. Like there were some coins that weren't from America.
Yeah.
And then I found like my silver and gold dollars. Wait. There are some 50-cent coins somewhere that I need to find. I don't know where I put them. I'll find them. But so I was finding all these cool coins, and then I kind of just stopped looking at the total, and then eventually we got towards the bottom of the bucket, and I looked, and it was $73.
Nice.
I was like, holy crap, that's rich again.
That's epic. $73. Hello, rich people. Caleb Ladd's joining you.
But it gets more. When we finally finished and let it count all the coins, it got to like 81 or 80. Yeah, 81, 84.
It's absurd.
And I was like, golly.
You still got coins left.
Yeah, and I still have some coins left, and I might take yours over there because I'm an evil, greedy monster.
Those are mostly quarters. Please don't take those.
But now I want to. I'm like in a coin frenzy. Like I just want to find coins and get them. But yeah, but they said that they took 12% from the thing, so the coin thing could make money. I guess I don't know.
That's kind of dumb.
I think 12% is a little high, but whatever. It's kind of fine. I went over, so I thought it was going to be like $70-something with the 12%, but it turns out the 12% was already taken off the total. So I got the 81, 84, and I was like, golly, this is hype. And then we went shopping. I bought some milk, some mint chocolate chip ice cream, and some chicken nuggets.
I like chicken nuggets.
So, and then we left Kroger, came back here, played Mario Party. I won. Then after Mario Party, Riley got back from like shopping or something, I'm not sure. And then she was moving out, and so
sad day.
I helped her.
hang out.
I helped her pack like last week, so I helped her move all her stuff to her new apartment yesterday. It was really sad.
Other than that shooting, this is probably like the worst thing that's happened at the hangout.
This is the worst thing that's happened at the hangout. The shooting wasn't too bad, comparatively. It was pretty bad.
Compare.
But so yeah, she said that she was going to stay here last night, so she's here right now, I think. Unless she's left for work. It is possible that she's left for work. At that point, she's gone.
At 7:47.
Sometimes she leaves and gets breakfast with people.
I thought that didn't open until like 10:30. I could be tripping.
Not at Little Dewey. They do open at 10:30. She gets there at 9:30. But so, yeah. So we went. She got like a belated birthday gift from a friend and needed an SD card, so we went shopping. I had to get some like toiletries because I didn't have soap or anything. So yeah. So we went to like Walgreens or something, and they had SD cards, but they were like $60, and so we're like, no. And I was like, we should go back to the apartment so I can get my wallet so I can buy toiletries, and then we can go to Small Mart. And that's what we did. She got an SD card, and for some reason this camera she got only holds 32 gigabyte SD cards.
Which is stupid.
Which is dumb. And the one we got was 128 gigs, and so it didn't work. So that was a waste of $20. So yeah, that sucked. And then we came back to the apartment. I tried to take a short nap, but I couldn't fall asleep. And then we drove to the community night, which we normally have prayer burns on Tuesdays, but we had the community night, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
Missed prayer burn, but
yeah, I enjoyed learning about turkey.
I did. It was a good night. I thought the Man in White stuff was cool.
That was really cool.
While we were in Guatemala, somebody said that they had the Man in White come to them in a dream, and I was like, dang, I didn't know other people have had this happen, honestly. That's pretty awesome. But then after that, me and Riley went to Dollar General to find an SD card that fit, and I got a 32 one for her. So we got it. She can take videos on her camera now. And then we came back here, and she was like, I'm kind of sad that it's my last night. She was like, we should like do something. I was like, I have ice cream. I've mint chocolate chip ice cream. She was like,
I have ice cream.
She was like, well, I think that we're like hungry. I was like, well, do you want to get food? And then we went to Taco Bell.
Thanks for bringing me a burrito.
I'm sorry. You didn't call me and say.
Well, I didn't know you were at Taco Bell.
You should have known that I was going to Taco Bell.
How should I have known that?
You should have just sensed it.
I would have figured you were going to Cookout.
Cookout was what I mentioned, but she said Taco Bell, so I was like...
I'm just joking.
I don't mind. We'll go to Taco Bell.
I don't care that you didn't bring me a burrito. It's okay.
Taco Bell, came back, and then we...
Taco Bell.
And then we chatted for a little bit, and then we went inside, and I was like, bye, neighbor. Last night is neighbors.
Last time.
It's not goodbye, but it don't feel like see you later. Man, that's the third time I've made a "It's not goodbye, see you later" joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, so adios, neighbor. And then I came in here, and me and you played Mario Sports Mix.
We did.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
It was a great day.
So what's your overall week score?
Oh, I forgot to give it. I'm gonna give it a. We're at a 98.
Heck
this
yeah!
was a freaking incredible week.
Frick yeah, bro.
Even the bad stuff was like wrapped in good.
Great.
So, I did laundry. I don't want them to get mildewy. I'm gonna go swap it to the dryer real quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I'll be fast.
All right. Last time I just stared at the camera. What should I do this time?
Do funny stand-up comedy.
No, I can't.
In the doghouse, I believe in you.
In the dog. What can I talk about? Let's see here. I guess I could talk about this. So, these are my two Funko Pops from the Spider-Man game. There's only 4 in this set. So I want to buy the other 2, since there is only 4 in this set. And the Spider-Man video game is my favorite video game of all time. But the second one just released their gameplay for it. For the most part, it looked good. There were some parts of it where I was like, eh. But most part it looked good. I'm super excited for it. What was I else going to say? This is Miles Morales. He is one of the 2 Spider-Men. He is in high school in this universe, and pretty much all of the universes. And this was the main villain.
I'm back.
I guess Would you say Mr. Negative was the second main villain or the main villain of Spider-Man?
I'd say second.
Second. He was the second main villain of the Spider-Man game. Cool villain though. I like organized crime villains, especially when they have superpowers. That just makes them cooler. Alrighty. Anyways, my week. So not going to spend too much time on Wednesday because I already covered it. Everything Caleb did, I pretty much also did on Wednesday. And then one really cool thing that happened. Caleb was in the shower, and I was just...
Hey! Don't tell people about how I take showers. That's a secret. I guess it's not a secret anymore.
He was in the bathtub, not taking a shower.
I was just
He was
standing there,
pretending
pretending to be clean.
But he was in the shower. I was in here fiddling with my guitar, and for whatever reason, I was just like, you know what? I want to try writing songs again. Because over COVID...
Oh, wait, was this... What day was that?
That was
telling
Wednesday.
Riley about
That
it.
was Wednesday.
Because I guess I could have mentioned that. Because that same night while I was in the shower, I was... Are you going to mention this?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, I was going to mention it. Because I thought it was so... That's why I'm talking about it now. I was like, I'm going to start trying to write songs again.
That's why I told Riley about it.
I probably wrote over 300 songs between 2020 and 2021, and they all sucked. Like,
dude, they were terrible.
Not a single one.
Caleb, I'm kidding.
No, you're right. They're bad. Like, I would go back and, like, try to play them and listen to them, and I was like, God, this is horrible.
Do you have
I'm very
water
bad
in
at
here?
this.
I think I need water. Is this old?
No, the bottle. It's not old.
I'm sorry. I need water.
It's okay.
Like that.
But, so I was like, I had like this finger picking thing I was doing, and it sounded really good. I was like, I'm going to try to put some lyrics behind this. And I wrote a chorus that I actually really liked. I was like, hey, this isn't half bad.
I
And
liked it. I thought it was really good.
Thanks, Caleb. And then Caleb comes in, and it's like one of the coolest things ever. This is why I love our friendship. He comes in like, dude, I was in the shower listening to like worship music, and I got inspired to write a song. And I was just like, I literally had like a piece of paper with a pen with like lyrics on it. I was like, Caleb, I'm writing a song right now. So it was like super cool. And so a lot of my week I spent time writing songs again, and I had a blast doing it.
That's
even
awesome.
though I think I wrote a total of 32 songs throughout the week, and
Oh, Lee, I wish I had your songwriting.
30. No, they were bad. There was
Still, you can write them. That's
There's
pretty good.
3.5 that I wrote that I like. One of them's just okay. If there's like a cool musical thing behind it, it could be a good song. But if it's just like a basic acoustic song, it would suck because the lyrics staying alone aren't that good. But it's just it just seems like it could be like a good song if I did it right. Kind of like Wings. Like Wings is good lyrically, but it's just like really basic. Kind of like the same thing over and over again. But musically, it's really really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like my other ones, I really like lyrically. But anyways, that was Wednesday. I started writing songs again, and throughout the week I was just writing songs, and I had so much fun doing it. Thursday was my stepbrother's birthday party, which was pretty fun. I met a really cool guy, who you know, and we talked about that last night. Cool dude. Had fun talking to him. And then
I was supposed to go to that party because you invited me, but I kind of forgot about it. I was also packing my room when it happened. Connor called me and asked me why I wasn't there, and then Charlie was with him, and I was like, "Who set this party up?" And Charlie was like, "My girlfriend." And I was like, "Well, your girlfriend didn't invite me, so blame her."
Yeah, I invited you. I also invited Colton. My mom made me mad at the party. She was like, "There's supposed to be more people here." Ella invited Colton, and he ended up having strep. And I was like, "I invited Colton. You told me to invite Colton. I called him and told him. What do you mean?"
I would have gone, but I had to drive the next day. I didn't want to drive to Caledonia, and I was also like in the middle of packing my room when I remembered that there was a party. So.
Yeah, it was pretty fun though. I just kind of chilled inside because there was like outdoor games and stuff, but you know how competitive some people can be, and I just didn't want to be a part of that. So I just kind of chilled, talked to Kyle a lot, and then something really funny happened. So we were talking about. Sorry, that came out of nowhere.
You got this. You got this.
Me and Kyle were talking about the AI videos, and my mama was right in front of us, and I kind of made the mistake of saying, "Dude, I love Joe Biden so much." Like just talking about the AI videos, 'cause I was like, I just love how he just randomly says "kablamo,
Kablamo!
kablamo," and for 10 minutes,
Dude,
talk to me about why I shouldn't vote for Joe Biden. and how I should vote for someone who believes in the Lord. And I'm sitting there like, I'm trying to explain to her that these are AI videos.
Dude.
Like, these aren't the real presidents. These are artificial intelligent voiceovers. Okay? Like, this is not... And she just couldn't get that. So I had to, like, make sure to tell my mom, like, Mom, if my mom comes up to you telling you I'm a liberal...
I am not.
I'm not. They're AI videos.
Me and JJ yesterday, after we went to Kroger. Oh, when we got back from Kroger, we were going to go to Chick-fil-A, but the line was so long, I went and dropped my ice cream off, and then we went back to Chick-fil-A, and then we went to Barnes & Noble. And while I was eating my Chick-fil-A in the car, we started watching some President's videos, because that's what me and JJ do when we're chilling now. And
they're so funny.
he said something, I was like, I really relate to that. He was like, the one thing I don't like about the videos is they're starting to make me like Joe Biden. And I was like...
Because, like, they're just so
I was like, dude,
funny.
I love all three of them so much. And then...
Like, they're all three just, like, one of the boys now. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Like, in 2024, I'm like, oh, wait, these guys suck. It's gonna be like, dang it. I miss when y'all were just playing video games with each other and screaming at each other.
Kablamo.
Kablamo! Dude, they're so
the Rock
funny.
Band one where he just, like, randomly says Kablamo in the middle of songs.
Dude.
Oh, man. Anyways. But yeah, so me and Kyle were talking about those and, like, some of our favorite ones, and then that happened, and I was like,
oops.
They're not real! But it's okay. That was Thursday, was basically just the birthday party. Friday was a day I didn't have too much to do, so I finished that first song that I worked on, because I had the time, and I was really proud of how it came out. So, Matthew says he has like a studio at his house, so I might hit him up and be like, hey man, I wrote this song, I'd like to record it.
You should definitely do that.
I probably will.
Because then I could listen to it on Apple Music.
Yeah. But also Friday, 2 new albums came out. Louis Capaldi's, which sucked. Sorry, Louis Capaldi. It was literally just 12 songs that were all the same song. And
that makes sense. He's not...
Like, they all had the same message. They all were the same vibe. Same speed, even.
He's not a very good artist.
No, I do not like Louis Capaldi.
His popular songs are just like... I don't know. They just like... lyrically hit the formula that... to where like... sad
What's
people
that
listen to him before
one
you
song?
go.
Yeah. Like, when he goes up to the... Due to colder weather, so... That just makes me unhappy. Like, it's not... It doesn't resolve the melody at all. Like, why do people like this song? It's okay. It was a bad album. I did not...
Was it a religious album in
There were some ways, yeah, but like the one song he was super religious on was the only song that was explicit, which I don't understand. But
John Bellion type vibes.
yeah, but it was not a good album. Matchbox 20 also released an album, and it was a good album.
That's cool.
It was. Yeah, I wish it was better because Matchbox 20 is like my 3rd favorite artist, or 4th favorite artist. And did I put him over Quinn 92? Or did I put him under Quinn 92? They're either 3 or 4.
Quinn was my 3, so I think...
He was my 4?
I think we would have remembered if
okay,
it was the
then
same.
Matchbox 20 was my 3. And I was really hoping it was going to be better than it was, but it wasn't bad. There was 2, like, insanely good songs, 2 very good songs, and the rest were just, like, decent, mediocre songs that I probably won't listen to that much again, but the other 4 I will. They were really good. So I was happy about that. And then I went with Lauren to the dentist, which I just kind of sat and...
What a fun date.
Yeah, I know, right? She, for whatever reason, didn't want to go by herself. She's like, will you ride with me? I was like, sure. So I just sat in the waiting room, and I wanted to write some lyrics because I had like the free time, but I can't do that without a guitar. So I was just playing a game on my phone.
I would have made a lot more progress on the song that I was writing. I thought of 2, I think, kind of good ones, but I was like in the middle of watching a President video when I sat down to do it, and then I was like trying to do it at the same time, and I was like, this isn't working. So I put the President video away and pulled my Bible out and was reading about what I wanted to write the song about. So
Cool.
I want to make more progress on it. I brought it to Jack's place and home in general to work on it, but I didn't have a guitar, and I didn't have the time at Jack's, so I could sit down and write, which makes sense. So sorry for interrupting.
You're good. And then Friday was the first of 3 nights in a row we played volleyball at the park in Caledonia. And for the most part, the people that were there were nice and cool, and there were some that were just like, high school douchebags who I don't like being around. But still had fun. So yeah, we started playing at like 4, and we played until, the first night we played until like 7-ish, and Evan came and played with us, which was awesome, and then me and Evan left early, and we chilled at my house for like the rest of the night, which was a lot of fun. And he said, one thing I forgot to mention that happened on Wednesday also was we got Spider-Man 2 gameplay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So good. There was like 2 things I didn't like about it.
I didn't watch it. I don't like watching gameplay trailers.
Then I won't tell you what I didn't like. But
you can tell me. I just
Genki. You remember Genki, right? He was Miles' friend. Did you play the Miles Morales game? He's big in the Miles Morales game. He's like Spider-Man's man. Like he's the actual man in the chair. Like he helps him run the app and like track stuff and all that stuff.
Is he like a villain now?
But he made a really bad joke. He was flying like this drone thing around with the Spider-Man, and there was like this noise, and Peter was like, that's not my stomach. And then Miles was like, it's not mine either. And Genki goes, and I don't even have a stomach. It's like, oh no, that was a bad joke.
Funny.
Not funny. And then there was something else, which it's okay. But
It's okay.
Other than that, it was beautiful. And me and Evan was like, dude, we should make a 2 Nerds on a Boat video about this. And I was like,
Did y'all?
no. We should. And then we haven't like talked in so long, so we just ended up like chilling and talking at my house, which is fine.
That's fun.
Because we haven't, like, me and Evan haven't just hung out for a while.
I love doing that with my boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a quality time person.
Yeah. And Lauren wanted to stay and play more volleyball, so she did, and she ended up showing up at my house like an hour later, and we all just kind of hung out, which was fun. So that was Friday.
Thanks for the invite.
I invited you to play in that tournament. You didn't want to.
When was that?
Remember I said,
What day?
I think it's this weekend.
This weekend. Oh, it's this upcoming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Just a Saturday thing?
Friday or Saturday, I think. It's $10 per person.
I don't think I'm doing anything Friday or Saturday, so
We should
if
do
I
it.
can pull up
I can find us a team, but Lauren's joining a different team now. I told her she was the Kevin Durant of volleyball because she switched teams like that because she wants to win, so she joined like.
Is there a prize for winning?
No.
Because I guarantee we would win.
All the money goes to the park, so it's like.
I ain't paying! I hate
like,
the park!
like
Y'all better be
not even
fixing
worth
the disc golf course, I swear!
Yeah, the disc golf course there is not good. It's okay. Anyways, Saturday was Granny Day. So, my great-grandmother is 98 years old. She's been living in a nursing home for the past, 4 years. Not 4, ever since COVID. She's been in the nursing home. Because we were kind of scared to have her out. So, we made the
Have her out.
Yeah, we made the tough decision to put her in a nursing home. But they allow us to visit and stuff, but she's not really allowed to leave that much. But they let her leave to go to my great uncle Terry's house. And so we had what we called Granny Day. So everyone brought food, and we just kind of hung out. A bunch of family was there. That's when you called me about skydiving, which if skydiving wasn't as expensive as it was, I would have done it, but it was too expensive for me. And I have a lot of other things on my bucket list that
You should have
I need
asked
to spend.
Granny.
Granny.
She would have dropped the band for you.
But yeah, there's a lot of other things on my bucket list I need to do for $250 before I do it on skydiving.
As somebody that's done it, you should put skydiving on your bucket list.
Maybe I should.
And if the opportunity ever arises, just be impulsive and do it. It's safe.
Okay. I'll probably do it next time if I have the money or the funds. But yeah, so Granny Day was that day. It was pretty fun. I talked to Brody a lot, which is weird because we don't really talk a lot, but I talked to Brody a lot, and we had some nice conversations. And then something weird happened. So me and you have been talking about seminary and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what we're doing and everything. And Lexi asked me how school was going and how my school year was. And I was like, it's good. I really like it in Starkville and all this stuff. And she asked me what I was studying. I was like, I'm studying psychology. She's like, I thought you were going to be a preacher. I was like, where did you get that?
You can be a preacher with a psychology degree.
I mean, you can, but I was like, what?
I could see
I
it.
mean, I preached one time at church, but she wasn't there. So I don't know.
You
Maybe
could-
she saw it.
I'll be a preacher and you could be the youth pastor at my church. We could be a tag team.
Nice. That's the plan. But yeah, that was a great day. And then went and played volleyball again. And we had less people, so it wasn't as fun, but it was still fun. And we
I
played.
play volleyball with like 5 people on a team.
Yeah. We played until we couldn't see the ball. We played from like 5 till 8:30 till we couldn't see the ball. Dude, my legs are so sore from this week. This week was the most active I have been in so long. But yeah, that was that. And then that was Friday or Saturday, not a lot. But then Sunday had church. Church was really good. Yeah, church was just church. I don't really know what else to talk about with church. But going back to Saturday. Saturday I had like 4 different dreams, and they were all absurdly crazy.
Dang.
Like I kept waking up and then going back to sleep, and then another one happened. I can't talk about all of them because some of them got to a weird place, but I can talk about one of them that you were in.
You dream about me?
Sometimes, yeah. So we traveled back in time to the year 1327.
Caleb, this isn't a dream. This happened.
Oh no. But yeah, 1327, and for whatever reason, our time machine was a little like wooden board with a sail on it, and it time traveled
makes
us
sense for a
into the
dream.
it traveled us into the ocean. So we were floating on the ocean with a little sail, and the sad thing is that apparently in 1327, tigers know how to swim.
Oh gosh, no.
So tigers were trying. I guess I don't know. It sounds like Life of Pi because it was a dude on a canoe with a tiger, but I haven't watched Life of Pi ever in my life. So
We got life of pied real bad.
there were like 40 tigers surrounding us, and then next thing you know, our wind just catches our sail, and we just. It's like when SpongeBob rides the boulder in SpongeBob and just takes off. We just right through the water. It's like we had a motor, and then we started flying. Our board just took off, and it ended up time traveling us back into present time. We were both like, "Dude, that was crazy."
That was so cool.
And then we went to we should go get snow cones. And we were right, but when we ordered snow cones,
we were right.
Yeah,
You're correct. We should get snow cones.
we got snow cones, but when they handed us the snow cones, they weren't snow cones. It was a bowl of mashed potatoes. But we were like, "Yeah, let's go!" And we ate the mashed potatoes.
Wait, did they put the syrup on it?
No.
Or was it just normal mashed potatoes?
It was just a plate of mashed potatoes.
I was excited to try the peach mango mashed potatoes.
And yeah, so we just ate mashed potatoes for whatever reason. And that was that dream. And that was just one of the crazy ones I had. I don't know what was happening that night, but crazy dreams. Yeah, so Sunday, went to church, played a lot more volleyball Sunday. But Sunday, we had 5 people per team, and it was a lot more fun.
That's the dream volleyball right there.
And so, so something really funny happened. So they play with a couple of the teachers from Caledonia who were like younger teachers. One of them went to high school when I was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He was a senior, and then the other one was a little bit older. But they played with us and stuff, and me and Lauren were trash talking. We were on different teams, and we have 4 balls to play with, but there's no barriers around the court, so the ball will just roll far away if it goes out of bounds or something, and people have to run and get the balls and stuff. And Lauren would not run and get the ball ever for whatever reason. So I told her I was like, "Lauren, have you only gotten a ball once?" And she hadn't, and she was like, "No." And so one time, I went and ran the ball and got a ball, and it was her turn to serve, so I threw it over to her, but I purposely threw it long. I was like, "Go get it." And then she went and got it, and they were like, "Holy crap, dude, she listened to you." And then one of the teachers, he was like, "Dude, I'm just feeling masculinity, exuberating.
Exude.
It's coming off of you. I'm feeling hyped up now." And I was like, I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to make her mad.
I was just making a joke.
But yeah, so I thought that was funny. And then Monday was Memorial Day. I ate an absurd amount of food. Went to Lauren's house for lunch, and we had burgers and pulled pork. and we played blitzball at the park, and me and her brother were on a team against her and her mom, and we had the sickest comeback ever. Scored 5 runs in the last inning with 2 outs and won by 2 runs. Sick. And then after that, went back to my house for like dinner and ate ribs and mac and cheese and a bunch of other stuff. Played more blitzball. It was really funny because me, Presley, and Lauren were on the team. We were just like cracking jokes with each other the whole time, and Charlie was getting frustrated because he was throwing pitches that were like we weren't swinging and they weren't hitting the strike zone. He was getting mad at us for not swinging, and we would say stuff like, "What do you want us to do? Swing at crap?" And he'd get even more mad. And he's like, "How much closer to the strike zone can I freaking get?"
The strike zone.
The strike zone. That's literally what we said.
Get in the strike zone.
Like, you got to get in the strike zone. Like, and then I pitched to him, and like with the blitzball, you're like trying to curve it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do that, so I literally just throw fastballs straight down the middle. Like, that's all I do. And so I threw like 3 fastballs, and like 2 of them hit the strike zone, and the other one he swung at. And we just started laughing. And he was like, "Why are y'all freaking getting mad at me? Like, y'all don't swing at anything, but I swing at something and y'all get mad." And like, President's like, "No one's mad. It's just funny because Caleb's just throwing fastballs." Like, it was really funny. And so that was funny. And yeah. And that was Monday. And then something really cool happened. So the night before, there's this artist who
The
I'm
night
like,
before what?
the night before Memorial Day, so Sunday night. There's this artist I'm like kind of a fan of. Her name is Lindsay L. She has like 1 hit, and have you ever heard of Shania Twain?
Yes.
She's opening for Shania Twain right now.
Oh, cool.
But the only reason I know her is because she does a lot of stuff on Marty Music, who's like this really popular guitar YouTuber who like does a bunch of tutorials and stuff. 3.9 million subscribers.
Pretty big.
Yeah, he's like the guitar guy on YouTube. He's really funny too. But she does like stuff on his channel a lot, and so I follow I went to her like Spotify page and listened to some of her songs there. She has like 2 that are kind of good, and then she's like a country artist, but she's like pop country, which I'm not a big fan of. But she is a very good guitar player. She told like a story of how she was really struggling to write an album or like write songs for her new album, and her producer / manager was like, "Go home to your home studio, pick like your favorite album of all time, and re-record it, but don't record it like they do. Record it in your own style."
Oh, is this the John Mayer one?
And she re-recorded Continuum, which is like, in my opinion, her best album because it's Continuum, but which is my favorite album of all time already. But she's a very, very good guitar player. And so I follow her because like she also like talks a lot about pedals and stuff, which is, I love talking about guitar pedals. But she did this thing on her story where you could like type in a question and stuff, and I typed in like, "I'm looking for a new reverb pedal. You have any suggestions?" And she DM'd me back. Like, didn't post it on her story for whatever reason. Like, DM'd me back.
How many followers does she have?
If you want to just give me your
I can look her up. What's her name?
Lindsay. She spells Lindsay weird. It's Lindsay L. LINDSAYELL. And she DM'd me back and like gave me 3.
What?
SAY, yeah. There she is.
380.
Yeah.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, she's a very good guitar player, but I think that's her new song is like what that is from her cover.
Probably.
It's called Sweet Spot. It's alright.
She's followed by Tyler.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Tyler Tony follows her, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, awesome! Thank you so much."
She follows Quinn and Kevin Jonas, but not the other Jonases.
She's just like my favorite person now. That's so cool. Okay, yeah, like
That reminds me of how that musician with 800 followers DM'd me.
yeah.
You just had the one up.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, I did not expect her to do that. But, like, I love watching her videos on Marty Music because she's like really nice and like very encouraging about stuff, which is really cool. And I watched some of her videos this week because she does a lot of videos on songwriting and like how to like release music the proper way, so like you can make money and people can't take your music and you can get like copyrighted and stuff. So yeah, that was really cool. And Monday night, I got a DM back, and Lauren does not like her. I think Lauren thinks the only reason I like her is because she's a pretty guitar player. And I was like, Lauren, she's just a really good guitar player. Like, and
I'm
so
not flirting with her.
like,
She's famous.
it's like she was kind of like, why would she DM you? I'm like, Lauren, she's a famous musician.
I don't think she wants me.
She's not. She should. I asked her what reverb pedal I should buy. Like, that's it. I just thought that was funny that she thinks I'm flirting with like a 30-year-old celebrity guitar player when I'm not.
I know your intentions, Caleb.
I was like, she's like, why are you laughing? I was like, Lauren, because you're being stupid. But yeah, so that was funny.
Were you concerned for my safety on Monday?
Dude, Sunday night, I was praying my butt off. Because I was like, maybe that's where the crazy dreams came from. Like, I was just like, dear Lord, please don't let my friend Caleb become a splat on the crowd. I really want to see him again.
Dude, at one point, my mom was talking about funerals if we died, and I was like, Mom,
stop.
She was like, she was like, we'll probably get cremated. I was like, Mom, I don't think we would have like an open casket funeral for my red splot. Like, you couldn't pick me up and put me in the funeral. I would be disintegrated. But it got morbid randomly. Like, we would just make a joke about how we could die, and I was like, guys,
Stop.
I'm actually nervous about this. Stop. But C-Man 66?
He was having some crazy dreams.
I miss C-Man 66.
I don't know if he heard my crazy dream that I mentioned, but I might tell it again to him later. Dude, it was a weird dream. I don't understand it, but it's okay. So yeah, that was Monday.
I wish C-Man could have gone
Skydiving. He had stroke.
No, he was going to the beach on Monday. He was all better at that point. I was sad, but
I wish you could have came to the party, Colton. I don't know if you heard this, but me and Kyle were talking about the AI videos, and I mentioned that like Joe Biden was my favorite, and Mama Jackie talked to me for 10 minutes about why I should vote for somebody who loves the Lord and not Joe Biden, and like 10 straight minutes. It was great.
it was great.
And I was just trying to explain to her that it's fake, and she...
Go back and watch the whole thing. He talks about it at some point.
Yeah, so anyways, that was Monday. Tuesday rolled around, and it was a really chill day. I woke up kind of early, and something really funny happened. So I didn't know, I packed hardly any clothes when I went home for this time, because I had like a lot of dirty clothes there. So like, I'll just wash those and I'll be fine. I packed like 2 outfits and then church clothes. I did not wash clothes until Tuesday. I was out of outfits. Like, I was out of clean clothes to wear. Like, Monday I had to borrow shorts from Lauren to wear to go play blitzball. Like, 'cause I had no shorts left. 'Cause they were all sandy from volleyball. But, so when I got up,
You will have to tell me later. Sorry for the late appearance, and I know I've missed a lot, but I'll be back Friday night day. Let's go.
So yeah, I woke up
to blitzball.
I woke up at like 7 in the morning to like wash clothes, and my mom had like 3 loads of laundry she was needing to do. And I was like, well, crap. I ended up not getting to wash my clothes until like 10:30, and I got them out at 2. So like from 7 to 2, I was in my underwear. So
nice.
That was fun. But I had a lot of time. I worked on some more lyrics, and that's when I wrote like most of my stuff. So, and most of my stuff sucked, but there was a few good things. There was a few good things. For the first time in my life, there were a few good things that I wrote, and I was pretty happy about that. So it was a really chill day, and what does that say? Learned. Oh, never mind. But Jackie was wanting to watch like a show with me before she had to go house sit. And she wanted me to like pick something because she was looking for a new show, and like her second favorite show of all time is Avatar. And the only reason she watched it is because I told her she would like it, and it was really good. And at first she was like making fun of me. She's like, Avatar, yeah, like Avatar's not gonna be good. But she ended up really liking it, and so I was just like scrolling through my Netflix, like, I think you'd like Cowboy Bebop.
These are like dusty. I'm gonna use your shirt.
Go ahead. I didn't know they were dusty, but
It's been bothering
so
me.
drop the needle on Dusty. That's not a good song.
This reminds me of how I recommended Andy's 2 favorite shows to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommended John Bellion to him, and that's his second favorite artist. Or it might be his first favorite, I'm not sure.
But yeah, I So we should watch Cowboy Bebop. So we watched like the first 2 episodes, and she said she really liked it. So,
I like Cowboy Bebop.
but she said she wasn't waiting on me to keep watching it.
That's fair.
But I was like, that's fine. I'll probably
Colton
see it.
said Big Dub. I don't know what about, but he said Big Dub. So
Anyways,
it was a big dub.
big dub. So we watched a couple episodes of Cowboy Bebop, and then she had to leave. And then I was trying to like look for like music inspiration, and since I don't have like good equipment, if I actually do like record any of the songs that I'm gonna record and like make them sound good, they're probably all gonna have to be acoustic songs. So I like went to like Spotify will make you like playlists for everything. So I searched like acoustic, and they had like an acoustic playlist like made for me. It was mostly like John Mayer and Ed Sheeran acoustic songs, but they had this one song called Amsterdam by this guy named Gregory Alan Isakov.
I know a song that has Amsterdam in the title, but it's by Valley.
Yeah, he's an American raised, but he was born in South Africa, and it's from this album called The Weatherman. The song was very good, and the cover for The Weatherman was like really cool. So I was like, I'm just gonna listen to this album. I got the time, and dude, insanely good. It was
awesome.
It was so good, and I was just like, I was kind of like blown away at how good it was, and like I gotta listen to the rest of his music because that's like one of his older albums, and he's come out with stuff more recently.
All my homies are finding new music.
And if like the rest of his music is that good, he will be like in my top 10 favorite artists. But I can't put him there yet. Only listening to the one album.
That's fair.
But dude, it was.
No Cons will all be here forever comes out in 9 days. I'm so happy.
Is that like the extended version?
Oh gosh, and the songs he's posted for it are so good.
Can't wait to listen to it.
They're like all a little different, and I really like them. Oh man, they're good. Noah Kahan's my inspiration to.
Yeah.
My
I did listen to
famous inspiration.
I did listen to some Noah Kahan songs. He does a lot of acoustic stuff too. But I was just like listening to acoustic songs, trying to get like some type of like vibe and stuff. And then Gregory Alan Isakov, like, your lord, he has this song called Second Chances. I was like, dude, it was such a good song. Like, I don't know how to describe how great of a song it was. He has a really good voice too. Like, I like his voice.
I'm gonna have to listen to this too.
So yeah, really great song, really great album, The Weatherman. But I gotta listen to that was from 2013.
Oh,
I gotta listen
10 years.
to it. He has one.
That's crazy to think that 2013 was 10 years
I know.
ago.
It's insane. But yeah, and then I went to the park with Lauren for a while before I came back to Starkville. I'm like spending as much time with her as I can because she's gonna be gone for the entire month. After she leaves June 9th, and then she's gone for the entire month of June. So
June 9th is when We'll All Be Here Forever comes out.
yeah, she's going on a mission trip to Belize, and then she's going to Mobile.
About that.
She's learning to be a counselor at Fuge Camp, so she's gonna be there for like 2 weeks. So she'll be gone for the entire month of June.
Huge.
Which is fine, but I'm just like, I don't know.
Understandably sad.
Yeah, we haven't gone that long without. She gets to come back for a day. She gets back from Belize. She has a day, and then she has to go to Mobile. But it'll be like the longest we've gone without seeing each other, which is sad. But what else? And then yeah, came back to Starkville, went to a community night, learned a lot about turkey. Dur, it's my new favorite word.
Dur. That means stop.
It means stop.
I didn't even know that there was not hurricanes.
Yeah.
Earthquakes there. That was.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. She said something that like hit home with me at first. She was talking about like the worldview of things and like how kind of like you might have a biblical worldview in like one aspect of your life, but there's others you might not.
Yes, we will be watching Spider-Man tomorrow night if you want to pull up.
That's so true. Like in terms of like.
Oh wait, he won't be here. Sorry. Yeah, no. What? It was actually really cool. On the way up there, me and Riley were talking about just stuff. She said something to me that made me think. I can tell you about that later. But one of the things we talked about was like how it's not what you do, it's your heart posture, like why you do it. Like going on missions, to say you've gone on missions is
the wrong reason.
Yeah, no, like we also, maybe I can pull up the lyrics of this song, but she showed me this song, really good song. You should listen to it. It's called "I Need You More." It's one of those like the prayer burn type of songs where it's like spontaneous and it's kind of the same thing over and over. But those are some of my favorite songs.
If it's a good
dude,
line, I mean,
this is good. At one point it goes, I need you, Lord, more than the air I breathe, more than the song I sing, more than the next heartbeat.
Oh, we sang that song at church. We sang that song at church.
Oh, really?
It's
good.
Like,
but there's one point. Let's see if I can find it. I can't find it. Crap.
Does it ever say "This is my daily bread" in that song?
I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm tripping. I feel like I've heard those lyrics before, though.
I can't. Maybe this is just a little off. Like it doesn't, because sometimes these like spontaneous songs don't have all the right lyrics in them. But at one point it talks about how like it's not. It says something like it's not blank. I can't remember the word they use, but essentially it's like it's not what you do, it's obedience. Like it's just going and doing it. And one of the things we talked about was like going on missions, and I was like, I think that some people have the gift for long-term missions and some people have the gift of missions. She's like, I think everybody has the gift of missions. I was like, yeah, but like you can go for 3 months.
Right.
I go for a week, and that's I mean I would go for longer than that, but that's the opportunity I've had, so that's good with me. And I'm like, some people are content staying where they're at and going on missions where they're at, and I think that's important to like think about, because it is your heart, and it's being obedient, it's doing what the Lord calls you to do.
Exactly.
But that was one of the main things that Kelly talked about last night. She was talking about like there's all these different aspects that like we need, like we shouldn't just be missionaries in like one of the big aspects. I don't remember what all they were, but it was just like socially, like, and shouldn't just be a missionary in Turkey or in Guatemala or in Colombia or in Belize. You should be a missionary everywhere you are. And I was like, that's what we talked about tonight.
Yeah. Going back to that like obedience thing and like doing things for like the right reasons. I remember like I'm a good guitar player. I'll be blunt about it. Like I'm a good guitar player. And when I first started playing with the praise band, and they like let me play lead and stuff, I was definitely up there just because like I was there for the wrong reasons. Like I was there because I thought I sounded cool. I thought I looked cool on stage, and I would like beg to play solos because like I wanted to play solos. Like I wanted to like I wanted like people to come up to me after church and be like, dude, you shredded up there, man. You killed it. And it took like a lot of
Gold's
like
house got rolled.
Nice. It took a lot of like prayer and like talking to my pastor, to be like, yeah, like you got like you're a worship leader when you're on stage. Your goal is to lead people in worship so they see God and not you. And it took some time for me to like get off my high horse and just be like, yeah, like all the glory be to God, not to me. And
I got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, like so.
I know some people that have like they're like super good musicians. Like one of the ladies at my church, like I look up to her. She used to sing a lot, and I know that she like stopped doing solos because like she was getting glory out of it, and she was like, I don't.
Yeah.
And like it made me sad because I think she has literally like the best voice. I think she's just an incredible singer.
Yeah.
But official trailer for TMNT is out now. Dang, that movie looks like trash. Maybe the trailer's better, but yeah, I have that same. I don't do anything musically. I was actually telling Riley last night that I've always wanted to be a musician. I was like, I wish I could sing and play instruments or something, because like I've always wanted to like help lead worship.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like I've led like a few Bible studies, and the first few I did, I wanted people to come up to me afterwards and be like, dude, that was great. And I was like, that's not what I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind if somebody came up and told me that's what I needed to hear. Like
Right.
that's what I would want to hear. I wouldn't want to hear you did good. I want to hear like thank you for like letting
her,
the Lord speak through you.
Yeah,
type of
like,
stuff. 'Cause,
like,
yeah,
I know what you mean. Like, Jesus Revolution hits on that like really hard because the guy who like, so the story's about like a pastor and this hippie, and the hippie was like trying to reach other hippies because hippies at the time were like doing drugs and like horrible things, and he was like, these people are looking for the right things, they're just looking at it in the wrong places. And he like kind of helped the pastor open up his church more to people that weren't like normal church goers and all this stuff, and the church ended up growing like massively. And they were like doing a lot of good things, and then the hippie guy who was preaching, he like got a big head about it, and somebody in an interview asked him like if he thought he was a prophet or whatever, and he was like, yeah, I think I am. And yeah, no, he got like a really big head about everything, and it kind of like touched on that a lot. He ended up having to like leave, and him and his wife like got like into arguments and stuff too about everything, but they ended up leaving. And at the end of the movie, it says like they came back and started like working together again, but they ended up leaving the church that they started and or helped start. And but it's like, I mean, it's hard, man, because like as humans we want to be noticed, you know, and but sometimes you gotta like put your, you know, wants and desires aside if it's for, you know, the glory of God.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard because like that's the like I haven't tried writing like a Christian song yet. There's one song I have that's about, or not that I have, it's just one that I wrote this week that's like a lot about anxiety, and I kind of talk about like my faith in there, but like it's, I don't know if I would be able to write a Christian song, and like I don't know how to describe it. Like if I like, I can only imagine it's like probably like the biggest released Christian song of all time. Probably. How many times it was streamed and played and all that stuff. I don't understand how you could write that song and not want to take credit for writing that song, or saying like I wrote this amazing song. Or,
that's
like,
I have a lot of respect for Christian artists.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could do it because I want like, yeah, I'm the one who wrote the song. I'm the one who like made the music. I'm the one who came up with the lyrics, but that's not true. You know, if
one day when you're a famous
musician,
musician, I think you'll write a Christian song.
I think I will too, but I don't think I'll ever be a famous musician. But
you could.
Thank you, Caleb. But yeah, I don't know. It's just.
Can I be on one of your songs?
Sure, Caleb.
And do ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'll be the McDonald's guy. I don't know why that was the first beat that came into my mind, but it was.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like, it's hard though. It took me a lot of time. Like I almost stopped playing with the praise band because I was like, if I'm up there for the wrong reasons, I don't need to be up there.
And I agree with that.
It took a lot of time for me to like be like, nah, this is like, you know, and get my mind right before I go up there. Now like, I don't like ever suggest, unless they ask me to like suggest a song to do, but like I don't suggest songs anymore, because I used to like all the time like ask, can we do this one, because that's the one I got to like do like certain things on. Now I just like, I'll just let them pick everything and play what they ask me to. And like if I'll play with a lot more feeling now too. Like it's a lot better than it used to be, because I used to just like go up there with like a set plan of like, I'm gonna hit this riff at this time, or I'm gonna do this at this time. And now it's just like, if I'm really into something, like if there's a break in like the words at sometimes, or like an interlude or something, then I might hit like a riff, but like it's not like pre-planned. It's just I'm feeling it at the moment, you know.
I think with like worship music, I mean, I like in worship music when there's no words for a little bit, because I feel like that's kind of in certain songs it makes sense, because it feels like that's the point where you're also supposed to like kind of sit back and like listen, stop talking, listen. but I do think that like in those like having a instrument there does it helps me concentrate honestly, which is backwards. But I saw the red. I was like, what in the world? You were my rock star, Caleb Griffin. You play great, so keep on keeping on. And if you make the best Christian song ever, I'll keep your secret by taking the credit. So you're
cool. I appreciate it.
If you start writing music and doing stuff, I want to help you write so my name can be at the bottom. I've always wanted my name to be in the written by thing.
Yeah.
Just so I could have it and take a screenshot of it and make it my wallpaper.
I have an interface that I could like record guitar with, but
for whatever reason, I think it's the cord from my microphone just doesn't work, so it doesn't pick up my mic anymore. So I don't know where I do like. My dad has like an actual studio, like he knows about all that stuff because he used to like make the CDs and stuff when he was a gospel singer. So he has like all the professional equipment in the world and stuff. But
I didn't finish what I was saying before calling. But I think in worship music, you can really tell when the people playing the music are like the difference between them playing the song and them worshiping. Like I think it's very evident when they're in it and when they're not in it. So mad respect.
Because I'll be honest, there's times where like I'm not in it. Like I'm just in the wrong mindset, or I've had a horrible week, and I'm just like.
And I think it's impossible to be in it 100% of the time. So that's not a bad thing.
You can definitely tell by my body language. Like I've had, like my mom, she also is in the praise band, and she's like gotten mad at me sometimes. She's like, Caleb, what the frick was that? And I'm like, what? And I was like, why are you up there? You're up there and you look mad. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I remember like a couple months ago, like I had gotten into it with a person, and I was just like, and it was like, I was having a great week too, and I was like so upset because it was Sunday morning when it happened, and I went up there and I was like, I ended up like just going all out on playing because I was just mad, and I was like taking it out at the very, very wrong time. But when I play, like I know the difference between when I'm like playing for myself and when I'm playing for God. And when I'm playing for myself, it's not nearly as good because it doesn't flow as well. My tone is like, I use the wrong combinations of pedals and stuff, and it just doesn't flow the same way. And I mean, I can easily tell. And if I can tell the difference, I feel like other people can tell the difference, and that means I'm not leading the right way. And
I mean, I think some of the best worship I've ever seen is at the prayer burns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like
it's just,
it honestly feels like the people up there leading worship, like whether you being in the room doesn't change anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Which I mean, it makes sense for that because there's not too many people in there, and they're not singing for you. They're solely singing for God. I think that those have like been the best example of worship I've seen.
Yeah, I think for me personally, the best worship I've ever been a part of was like this one Sunday. We always have a plan. We have 5 songs that we do, 4 like songs. Then we try. Our pastor likes to do like old timey something for offering. So like while the ushers are walking around, they'll play like something like old Southern, like gospel type stuff, but not. I don't know how to explain it. But there was one Sunday, like we had our planned songs, and then I don't know, like somebody came to the altar during one of them, and like the church just kind of like flooded the altar, and we just worshiped for the rest of the service. He didn't preach or anything. We just like kept going, and our praise and worship director, she would like think of songs on the fly, like let's do this one, and then we'd do it, and it was like it was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
It was just cool being a part of it. And
I like worship
I do too.
nights like that. I could go in and sing a lot. That's why I think I like the prayer burns so much, because there's no expectations for you. You do what you do what you need.
You do what you feel led to do. You know.
Because like if I wanted to just stand there and sing the whole time, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that.
Absolutely not. I mean,
I saw somebody in there one time that was asleep, like they were just taking a nap. And I was like, I mean, honestly, I can't. There's no room to judge there.
Yeah, right.
If there was a Tuesday night, I was too tired to do something, and I didn't want to go because I didn't think I would be able to stay awake, I would probably go and just fall asleep.
Right. I know. it's so freeing being in a place where you can just open up and just like talk to God without, like, you're also like with other people, but you're not distracted.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I hate that I couldn't do it by myself, but I know that I couldn't because I'd get distracted way too easily. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely could like pray for maybe 10 minutes, but I know I couldn't do it for 2 hours if I wasn't in like the right setting, you know.
I think if I tried over time, I would be able to do that because it is kind of like, I don't know. It's like doing like a plank or something. The first time you do it, you're not gonna be able to hold it for more than 30 seconds. But eventually, if you do it consistently, you'll gain the skill. It is literally just a skill.
It's like a practice thing.
So
with repetition.
I've tried doing it. I can sit in my car for a while, but I don't know. It's annoying that I'll like convince myself that I don't have the time or something like that, and then I'll come inside and like play video games.
I know.
I wish I wasn't like that, but
I'm the same way.
which is why I like the routine of it on Tuesdays.
Yeah. That's like the biggest thing that I'm like, I don't know if pounding's the right word, but like I'm trying to pound into like my youth kids is like, because in summer it's so much harder to like read your Bible and worship, because like with school you have like that schedule that you're building it around. Like my morning routine during school, it didn't always happen, but like it was like get up, shower, brush teeth, just all that kind of stuff, read Bible, go to school.
Bye, Colton.
Bye, Colton. Is he leaving?
Yeah. He's going to go to the beach.
Oh, nice.
Beach.
Have fun. But yeah, it was that, right? And it's easy. And then you have Wednesday night church, which you still do in the summer, but like it's
usually just like games.
Right. And it's so much harder to follow that like schedule, to like read your Bible when you don't have a schedule going on in your life. So I'm just like saying like, guys, like read your Bible, pick a time daily, like make it part of your schedule, like, because summer is like the easiest time to like lose your faith, in my opinion, especially like as a teenage guy with like social media the way it is, and like have like, you know, it's very easy
like
lose it.
I wish I never got social media.
Same.
It did nothing good for me.
No,
I hate it.
Not.
I don't use it often. I'll get on Snapchat to talk to people, and every once in a while I'll go on Instagram to see if a famous person's posted something that I want to know about. But
I'll use Instagram for news now. Like that's I don't really post anything.
I use it for Caleb AM polls every other week.
That too.
I would literally delete Instagram if it wasn't for Caleb AM. So eventually, when we're big enough on YouTube and we can post the polls on YouTube, Instagram's out. I hate that stupid app.
No, I agree. I hate Instagram, but I've already said like after college I'm
deleting everything.
I'm probably gonna delete Snapchat too. I have one streak, and I Snapchat you guys and Lauren, and that's literally all.
I have
Snapchat.
way too many streaks. I only want one with Jack, honestly, but I don't know. I don't lose my streaks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send them once a day, and then I'll ignore everybody.
Yeah.
And then I'll get double snapped by everybody because they send me streaks.
You don't have work at 9, do you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I go until 2, which is awesome.
I was just making sure.
So happy about
8:45.
that. Yeah, I texted my boss and asked him, and he was like, "You can come in at 2." I was like, "Let's go. I'm tired."
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with you on the summer thing.
Yeah. No.
I've definitely
been
hurting with that lately.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been really busy, and I've been using that to cope. But like, I really shouldn't. Like when we were at the Isaac's wedding, the day before, I brought my Bible and I like read my Bible in the mornings. But I have like a whole routine I do.
Yeah.
And JJ brought his Bible in his notebook, and like each morning when we woke up, that's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dang, I like convinced myself I'll skip a few days, and that led into I haven't really done anything since then, really.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I hate saying that. It kind of sucks, but I actually know one day I did. I started Jonah. I'm reading Jonah right now. But yeah, I know for me, you'd think that like having to wake up and go to school would make it harder. But for me, like, if I have to be somewhere at 9, I'm already going to be awake. I'll just wake up an hour earlier. Like, waking up at 6:30 during the school year was so easy. I went like 20 days in a row without missing a single day.
Yeah.
And then it was incredible. And then I went to Guatemala, and I didn't wake up early at all during Guatemala because I was so tired. But like I was at least on missions. And then ever since I got back from Guatemala, it's been splotchy at best.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But
yeah, no, like it's just so easy to like, cause like I didn't have classes at 8 a.m. at all this semester. All my classes started at 9 or 9:30.
yeah,
And so you would go to school or you'd go to class at 8. I would just walk to campus with you and then go sit in the library, and that's where I'd read until I had to go to class. And like it's just,
and I have an office now.
it was so
with
much.
no distractions. I
yeah.
have no excuses.
It was so much easier than like, cause now like I'm splotching now too. Like I read a lot at the beach. That's because I was at the beach and I was bored. But like since I've gotten back, I think I've read like 3 times, which is horrible because I've been back for.
I've read a few times. I just wish I would like
Like a
study,
week and a half.
learn, talk more.
Same. Because like I've spent so much time like getting lessons prepared for youth that I haven't like read for my own needs yet, or like a lot, which is bad because I can kind of tell I'm starting to slip back into things that I thought I had like gotten out of, and it's clear I haven't because I'm like off my thing. So it's like
That's
I gotta get back.
sucky part about life.
Yeah, no, it's like
No, I guess it's not sucky, but you really can't do anything without God,
I know it's
which is good.
which is good. Yeah,
You know, it's kind of like
but
when I start messing up, it's because I haven't been pursuing God the way I
Right.
should.
same.
And yeah, I had something I was gonna say. I don't. Crap. It was. I thought it was kind of good. I don't remember what it was. But oh well, it's gone now.
Yeah,
I definitely wish that I was doing a better job than I am right now.
same.
But like I don't know. One thing I think about is like, is this Caleb AM? One day a week I'm able. I mean, it's still kind of hard to get out of bed at 6:15. I usually snooze my alarm for 5 minutes and I sit there like, oh wait, I need to get up.
Yeah.
And like I can do it on Wednesdays.
Why can't I do it?
Why can't I do it
Yeah.
every day?
I get that.
And I don't say that to be like, well, maybe I shouldn't do Caleb AM anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that this is bad, and we do talk about Jesus.
Right.
We're doing
I
it right
agree.
now.
Yeah.
We had a short Bible study this morning, so now that it's 8:50, we're getting a long form Bible study.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that I don't know. I want to do a better job. I think having a consistent schedule is important.
Absolutely.
And I like waking up at 6:30 is my dream. I want to wake up at 6:30 because one day when I'm an adult and have like a 9 o'clock job or something, I think waking up at 6:30 gives me plenty of time to like do my adult things. I have a
Absolutely.
Bible study and then I go eat breakfast. I have some coffee
Mhm.
and then I go to work. And I got really good at doing it. Like I would wake up without snoozing my alarm, and then one time I snoozed my alarm and got back in bed, and then ever since then I just can't get up, and it makes me so mad.
Like
Makes me sad.
time
honestly.
is just like so valuable, and like I wish like I didn't have to sleep sometimes,
Yeah.
so I could do everything like I wanted to do. But
I
then I
feel
just
like I've been
feel
so
really-
behind on sleep.
I know. I mean, I don't know because I'm not you, but like I get what you're saying. Like it's
Like this weekend I didn't get much sleep.
Yeah.
It was like nervous sleep Sunday night. I barely slept on Saturday night because we got home like close to midnight. Barely slept on Friday night because we didn't go to sleep until like 3, and like still woke up early. And then like last night this kind of connects to what I'm talking about, but one of the things me and Riley talked about was like going to community night. We were both like super tired and drained, and I was like, I'm just like, she mentioned that she was tired. I was like, I am just like exhausted,
Mhm.
and like I don't even like feel that good. I'm like nauseated
Yeah.
a little bit. And she said like, that's the devil, that's the enemy trying to. I was like, you know what?
you're probably right.
You're right. That's just facts. That's just the truth. And I don't know. That kind of resonated with me. I was like, because I know me
Yeah.
very well.
You do.
When I am tired, every single Caleb AM,
I tell myself as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go get back in bed and take a nap. Do you know how many times I've done that? 0. Most of the time I had to
do
go.
the same thing.
Most of the time I have to go to class, but since classes ended, I could do that.
Right.
But I'm not tired. I mean, granted, I'm
Yeah.
drinking caffeine, and I will not drink caffeine every single morning because that would kill me. But
once I get up and
once
take
I'm
a shower,
standing up and moving around, I'm not
good.
tired
Exactly.
anymore. And like,
but
it's so hard when I wake up to convince myself that it's not worth snoozing it.
yeah,
And I wish I had a way to just
make myself get up.
up.
People say that like waking up to like light is so much better than like waking up to sound. Like they say it's better for your health, and like it actually wakes you up. Like there's this guy who has like these big like lights that he sets to a timer like in front of his bed, and they just like flash. Like I used to do that. You know, like those LED strip lights.
Yeah.
I have them in my room at my house, and there's like an app where you can set it to a timer. And for a solid week, I would just set it to where like the white lights would come on when my alarm was supposed to come on, and it worked. Like it woke me up like very well, but I hated it because I didn't want to wake up. So I stopped doing it because I was like getting angry. I was like, I don't want to wake up.
I mean, that's probably my favorite part about these rooms is I have a curtain, but I never bothered to put it up, and we have a ring light right here.
We don't really need it.
But we don't need it because at this point...
In the winter, like, we kind of did because it was dark outside, but, like, at this point...
There's so much natural light, even in the winter. If I didn't get up when I wanted to, like...
Yeah.
It was so bright, I just couldn't fall back asleep.
And
I wish it was that bright at 6:30.
I put a blackout curtain in my room in my house, and I regret doing that because it's... I don't wake up anymore when I'm over there. Like, it's...
Yeah, no, I hate blackout curtains. I like my room to be bright in the morning.
Like, I'll never get
stops me from sleeping in.
I won't put one up in the house or anything. I probably won't put unless there's not blinds, because I do need some blinds.
There's blinds.
Yeah.
If you put up a blackout curtain, I'll take it down while you're not there. I won't let it happen.
I won't put one up, but
I don't like curtains at all.
Either. Like, dude, I feel like so guilty so many times though, because I feel like I spend my time so poorly. Like during the school year, for example, in the morning, like.
JJ's awake.
Yeah, he is. Like in the morning, I would spend my time, like I'd read my Bible in the morning, I'd go to class, I'd do homework and stuff like that, but then I'd get back, and like I'd still have homework to do, or like need to get lessons prepared or something,
yeah.
And I would come home and watch TV or play video games, and then 10 o'clock rolls around, and I have not done anything, and I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I just get stuff done before?
Sorry, I ran out of the room fast.
Like, why can't I get stuff done before 10 o'clock rolls around? And like, I spend so much time watching TV or playing video games or reading comic books or thinking about Spider-Man. I spend 30 minutes a day just thinking
You're
about
being
Spider-Man.
real.
I'm so like,
dude, I found the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack at Barnes and Noble
on vinyl.
Yeah,
Nice.
If your birthday was close, I would have bought it, but
That's
I am
not
poor.
close. Yeah, no.
So
Your birthday's close.
my birthday is close.
But since we mentioned Spider-Man,
Everybody got to see me adjusting my pants.
It's new Comic Book Wednesday, and today's comic book is like in the Amazing Spider-Man arc. There's like a major character death, and it's been spoiled like crazy. Like Marvel had to post a post like, "Stay off the internet if you don't want this spoiled," because it's when I've searched Spidey news for like stuff. Like last week, it was the first thing that popped up. Like spoilers here. I don't know. I didn't look because I want to read it for myself. I am predicting that it's MJ, but just based on like the previous stuff that's happened in like 25 and 24. But it also could be Black Cat, and if it's Black Cat, I will
be sad.
I'll probably stop reading the. That's not true, but I'll be very upset. I really hope they're saying it's like a major character. I really hope it's Norman Osborn.
That would be nice.
Because I don't like him as a good guy, so I really hope he dies. I don't know though. We'll see, but yeah, the Gold Goblin is a really cool suit, but I just don't like Norman as a good guy. It's not the same. But anyway, see, I've already got off topic and talked about Spider-Man. That's okay.
That's okay. I know who it is.
You do?
Yeah.
Or don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. But
oh man.
Yeah, thanks for getting us off topic. We were having such a good discussion.
Well, let's get back on it. We can get back on it.
Yeah.
So,
We've been going for 2.5 hours, but I have nothing to do today until 2.
I got nothing to do today. I was gonna play you one of the songs that I finished, but I'm not gonna do that here. 'Cause I'm embarrassed. But
That's fair. You gotta save that for when it gets released.
yeah.
Um,
I've already, like, it's so premature because, like, I have 2 full songs written that I like, one part of a song that I really like but don't know if I'm going to be able to finish, and then one that I kind of like. And I'm like, that's just, like, lyrics and chord progressions. Like, there's no, like, music. Like, I don't even know if I'll be able to record these things at a quality that I'm proud of. And I'm already picturing, like, album covers in my head. I'm like, Caleb, stop.
can I be in an album cover?
You mean an album cover? But, like, I'm telling myself right now that none of these songs that I've written are gonna get released because I'm not gonna get my hopes up and like be like, oh, this is gonna be so good and like it's gonna sound great and
That's
people are gonna
probably
listen
for
to
the
it.
best, but I think it
And,
would
like,
sound good.
I hope it does, but like, you don't need like it's. I don't think it like.
I'm so
just trying
glad
to
you're
get my
doing
hopes
this,
up.
though.
I am
I
too.
hope
Like, I'm
that
having
you
so
get
much
to do
fun.
it.
Like I'm having so much fun doing it. It's just like
When I think
I
about
don't know.
my friends that could potentially get famous, I always think about how I would want to do stuff with them because they'd be famous. If you get famous, don't forget about
Dude,
me.
you're my best friend.
But I think about how I would get a little prideful, and don't take this the wrong way, because I don't think it's offensive. I think it's a compliment, if anything. I think about how I would get prideful if my friends got famous, unless it was you. Because I think that you would just be the same dude, and then, like, if I wasn't, like, an album cover or one of the songs said written by Caleb, I don't think I would, like, be gloating about it. I think I would be, for myself, I would be
Right.
happy. Like, that's...
Literally, like, I was picturing what my album would look like on Spotify, and track 8 is literally a song that says, I wrote this song with my best friend. That's the name of the title. And it's a song me and you wrote. And it doesn't exist. Literally, like, I've pictured that in my head, like, multiple times. Like,
We can finally write a Caleb AM theme song.
oh gosh, that's so bad. Like, I don't think I'm going to get famous or anything at all. Like, I am
I think the best musicians are the ones that aren't giga famous.
Right.
The ones
I
that
agree.
the singer-songwriters that just have, like Ziggy Alvarez. Have you heard him?
Mhm.
I love Ziggy Alvarez.
Like, I don't even think I'm going to get to, like, that level. Like,
Colin Leonard, the dude I talked about.
I don't think I'll get there either. Like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who, like, if I happen to release music, would like it. But, so I'm not, like, assuming that I will ever get famous. Like, even on YouTube, like, I don't think, I mean, I pray for it all the time because I want it to happen. That doesn't mean God wants it to happen, though.
Yeah.
That, like, Next Topic Media blows up and we can do this, like, full time.
I
You
also
know?
was telling Riley about that last night when we were on the way back from Taco Bell. I was like, I was telling her about all these like different dreams I had at some point. I was like, because she was talking about like her camera she got and how she was like going to be a famous vlogger. Like she's joking; those are for herself. But I was like, I mean, literally like. Just like most kids my age, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I was like, that would be so cool. And like I would think of these cool ideas and then never execute it. And I saw a meme the other day. It was like me and my friends in 2018 talking about the YouTube channel that's going to make us big. We're never going to start it. I was like, that was like me and Caleb started a YouTube channel at one time. So we made the first step. It sucked. It was bad. It was terrible.
So bad.
I think those videos are gone. Hopefully.
They're gone. I deleted them.
Trust
me, I deleted them.
But you know, I was sitting there and I was like,
that was so bad.
I was like, that'd be so cool. Like, if I were to ever get famous like that, I would want, and it would be like my prayer daily that I would use my platform for God's glory. And I was like, I mean,
We have
not everything on
but
Next Topic Media is like that, but like, I think this show is pretty good for that.
I agree.
Me and you talked about starting like a
podcast.
we would call it By Faith Caleb,
Mhm.
which is, I want to do that.
We should.
That's kind of what today was. Today was the...
So today's the introduction.
Today was the
to that.
pilot for By Faith Caleb.
But yeah, it's. I
'Cause
definitely
those are
think
my-
we could do better about it, but like I think we do a good job.
I think
Build
we make it known, and a
Like,
lot
I'm-
of celebrities don't do that.
I'm never gonna shy away from the fact that I'm a Christian.
I will get canceled for my faith.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite John Bellion lines is what song is it in? I think it's in New York Soul Part 2, and he says like, even if it cost me my reputation,
I'll keep my faith or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can find it. Start talking. I'm gonna look for it.
But no, like,
Start talking, boy.
like I was saying, like, I don't think like I'm ever going to be any type of celebrity, major, minor, barely known, like anything like that. I think I'm just going to be a normal guy who has a 9 to 5, and which I'm like totally happy with. Like, like whatever the Lord gives me in my life, I'm going to be happy with. Like, you know, I'm gonna like I'll be surrounded by people I love. I'll, you know, have an income, and I'll be happy.
I was right. It was a New York Soul on
Nice.
part 2. I'm so happy.
But so it's not like I want to be famous or anything. It's just like if it happens, you know, it happens. But like, let's say it does happen. Like, I promise myself that no matter what happens in life, like, I'm going to have the same values I do now, which is God first, family, and like family includes like people I consider family. Like, I consider you family. Like, you know, stuff like that. Like,
oh, sorry, I found it.
Yeah.
Told where it says, where God's way is the hardest way. Told myself I'm keeping my faith. If it costs me my reputation, then take it. I give it all away.
that's a good line.
I love John Dyer.
That's a great line. But like, if I ever like do become a musician, whether I'm playing like arenas or venues like Rick's Cafe or super or like open mic nights at places, like, I'm going to always do a worship song, like, because
You could start every set with a worship song and end
Yeah.
every set with a worship
like that's just, you know, it's just what I'm called to do. You're called to worship. Like, we talked about that after the last prayer burn. Like, I told you about how, like, I felt like, you know, while I'm waiting for God to like show me or like tell me what He wants me to do with my life, like, I can worship.
Mhm.
Like, we're called to worship no matter what, and I'm always going to worship when given the opportunity, because it's what I feel like I'm called to do.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's just the bottom line, I guess. Like,
It's just the way it goes.
yeah,
That's how it is. It's what it
So-
does. Yeah, I agree with that.
mm-hmm.
That's what I've pretty much the same thing. I've been, I don't know, a lot lately. I've been just like begging for answers and like guidance or signs or anything, because there's so much stuff
Mm-hmm.
in my life that I just don't know.
Right.
Last night I was in the shower doing my thing I said I'd do, and I was like, I just don't know. I don't know anymore.
Mhm.
There's all this stuff that I feel like confident in, and that I won't talk about on Caleb, but like in general, I feel confident in it, and it's just like I think that's my plan, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't make the plan.
Right, exactly.
It's up to God, and if it's not the right time for Him to like reveal if that's what I'm supposed to do, then I'll just wait, and in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that confidence and the security of like that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing, I'll be in worship
Exactly.
continually.
Mm-hmm.
Big dubs
And
like that.
It's just so hard. The not knowing has been like the hardest part of my life for the past year and a half. It's like, I switched my major. Like, was I supposed to do that? And I feel like I was. Like, I think I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I haven't felt unconfident in my major choice for a while. Like, I don't think I ever have since I started psychology.
I'm confident. I think.
Like, I definitely feel like I feel like that's what God wanted me to do. Like, I've talked about it for multiple times. Like, this is where God wants me, right? He wants me at Mississippi State studying psychology right now. I feel confident in that. But the future is where like I'm just like have such a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Because I have no clue. Like, everyone, like, it's not like a pressure, but like ever since I started doing the youth group at my church and I preached like one time, so many times people have come up to me like, I'm so proud seeing you step into your calling. Like, I don't know if this is my calling, people. Like, right now, yeah, like I definitely feel like I'm doing what God wants me to do right now. But that's just because He put me in the position to like reach some of these kids who like were in similar situations I was, like divorced family, not being confident at school. Like, that was me. Like, I was a lot of those kids. So I definitely feel like I have, like, experience that can, like, help them in a way. And I feel like that's where God's, like, kept me in Starkville, like, kept me here and home for that reason. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be a youth pastor or a pastor in 10 years. Like, that might not
It also
be
doesn't not mean
it doesn't not mean it either. Like, that's right. It's just like,
I think
like, I don't know my own calling, so you guys definitely don't know my calling either.
I wish I knew my calling.
I do too,
genuinely
man.
do not.
Like, I wish.
But I think of like a lot of people. I like listening to pastors talk about how they were called, because like 95% of them have like Jonah stories, which is my dad's favorite book of the Bible is Jonah, actually. Bro Breck trivia. Because whenever my dad says stuff like it's like really cool. But like I asked him one night in Guatemala, I was like, "What's your favorite book of the Bible?" And he said Jonah. I was like, "Why?" And he said, "Because it's literally the story of my life." And I was like, "Dang, that was deep."
I got swallowed by a big fish.
I was walking down the road and God said, "Go." Is it Nineveh?
Nineveh.
Go to Nineveh.
No, God.
No.
I'm going to Tarshish.
And then I ran away, and then a big fish ate me. Oh, why didn't you tell me about this?
I didn't know.
but yeah, no. I get what he means,
Yeah,
which is
no,
why the
yeah.
song I'm writing is called Jonah. Because of Thomas, that song I talked about.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest idea. I should have outed that song, and she thought it was a cool idea too. But yeah. And another thing he talks about is there's a verse, I actually found it in Prayer Burn the other day, but there's a verse that talks about how like Paul considers himself the chief of sinners.
Right. We talked about that last
And one
week.
thing my dad says is like, he'll say it and he means it like metaphorically, but he says like, I think that there's one mistake in the Bible, and it's when Paul says that he's the chief of sinners because I am the chief of sinners.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Dang.
golly, that is, oh man, that's relatable. Because sometimes I sit there and think about all the crap I've done. I was like, God, are you sure that you
Yeah.
love me? Whew, and then I start crying. I'm like, dang, he really does love me. I love you, God.
I was so, like, discouraged. I think it was 3 prayer burns ago. Like, because things were happening, like, with, like, the youth group where I felt like I was, like, just doing a bad job and I didn't have the answer for, like, a kid's question. And things were just happening. And then I started thinking about all the crap that I'd done in my life. And, like,
It gets you down.
and I was just like, you can't, like, I'm not the guy, right? And then I read about Joshua, and he used Rahab. You know, Rahab was a prostitute. I'm not a prostitute.
That's what I think.
And I just think, like, God can use anybody. And that's, he like, I heard it said somewhere, like, someone said, like, his best soldiers are, like, the most broken people.
I think I was going to mention that earlier. There's, like, that meme that, like, God gives his biggest battles to his toughest soldiers. God gives his silliest battles to his funniest soldiers. It's like, I think that anything that certain people have gone through, you go through that for a reason. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't want to, like, make assumptions, but, like, your parents got divorced. That's not an assumption, that's a fact.
It's a fact.
Like, I don't think I personally could have handled that.
Dude, it was rough, man.
And, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
as a
but at
kid
this point,
especially.
you've got through it. And if there's a child in like a youth group whose parents are getting divorced, you can help them. And there are things that have happened to me in my life that like I hate. I hate that I have done it. I hate that I've gone through this. But if somebody 30 years down the line is like just completely broken, it's like, hey, I was there too.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
think that is an important thing to think about when going through trials.
Absolutely.
You can use them all.
I think is it James that has that verse there? I think it's James.
What verse?
It's early in there. Here it is.
1:7 then or something?
It's 1:2. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And then it says, like, if you lack wisdom, you should ask God and stuff. But it's verses 2 through 4. James 1, 2 through 4. And, like, it's just more confirmation, like, you know, God doesn't promise it easy, you know. Have you ever heard of Jason Crowd?
Yes, I think.
There's a song that he sings called Through the Fire, And it's like he's like the song says, like he never promised that the cross would not get heavy and the hill wouldn't be hard to climb. He never offered our victories without fighting, but he said help would always come in time. Like God's timing is perfect, and He doesn't promise you like life is going to be easy and that everything's going to go your way, but like He promises that He's going to show up on time, and that He promises a perfect plan that if you step into, it's a plan for you to prosper, you know, and
I got a verse.
but perseverance is part of that, you know.
This is actually my favorite book of the Bible as of right now is First Peter. It talks about trials a lot, but it's kind of funny. On April 19th, 2023, I used First Peter 1, 3, 4, and 8 as my verse, but then 6 and 7 is also really good. Well, the whole chapter is really good. It says, "You rejoice in this, even though now for a short time, if necessary, you suffer grief in various trials, so that the proven character of your faith, more valuable than gold, which though perishable is refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ." And I'm like, that's like literally what you just said.
Yeah.
And I think just thinking about how trials are ultimately there, not to destroy your faith, but to build your faith.
Right, dude.
And which is why I think
Absolutely, man.
some of I was also talking to Riley about this last night. We had some good biblical discussions last night, and I'm loving all these biblical discussions I'm having lately. But one, I like a lot of different types of worship music. Like it all works for like different things. There's like hype songs for when you're just like jamming.
Right.
There's like the straight worship ones like "God, You Are Perfect,"
Yeah.
and then there's some. My favorite ones are ones that talk about shame, because I think that's the thing. I mentioned this.
That's
several
why I
times
love
ago,
Andy
man.
Mineo so much. It's
Shame is my favorite Andy Mineo song.
Yeah.
It is one of the most raw and powerful songs
Yeah.
I've ever heard. And then like Alter by Holvey, like they talk about shame a lot in that one. I think for just the general population, shame is the biggest hardship that people face, because
Absolutely.
everybody is going to have shame for
Yeah.
something. And I talked about this with my dad the other day. We were talking about stuff, and he was just talking about how like that is in the past. Like you shouldn't feel shame for that anymore. And I'm like,
It's a lot easier said than done, though.
it is a lot easier said than
Yeah.
done, which is why I want to write a song about shame,
Yeah.
because I oh my gosh, Andy Mineo.
No, for real.
I could never think in my head for
I
that
relate.
song.
Like I'll relate to a bunch of his songs. Like "Cross My Heart," he talks about his mom passing. I always relate it to like my grandfather passing, because like my grandfather was like, he was basically my dad. You know, he was that guy. He was a pastor. He like instilled a lot of stuff into me as a kid. And like the times where my dad wasn't there, or he like was there but was working like super late, like my grandfather was the one who was always there. So like when he passed away, that's like, there's been like 3 times in my life I think I can safely say like I was completely away from my faith. Like there's been times like I've been closer to God than others, but like that was one of the 3 times I've just been like crazy far from God. Was then, and it was just like, it was so hard, because like I didn't think like I could get past like not having him, because like he was the guy, like I literally went to him with every problem I ever had, because he was like so knowledgeable about everything, and like he would open up to me about stuff like about his teenage years and stuff like that he did, and it was so weird like hearing him like confess to these sins that happened, like because it's just like so hard to see like him like saying how bad of a person he was, but at the same time it was like refreshing knowing like I'm looking at where he was then, and then where he ended up, and it's like, no, it's
Yeah.
cool, you know, like hearing other people's struggles. It like helps you understand like your own, and that it's part of life,
And that you're not fully alone.
Yeah, exactly.
You're never alone at
You're
all.
never alone, but
I think like my dad, when he preached like the sermon at our new church, his new church, one of the things he talked about, like a lot of the people there knew him because it's like
he grew up in a small town, and some of the people there like grew up in that same town, and like everybody knows everybody
Right.
in Hattiesburg, and pretty much, or whatever small town next to Hattiesburg. I don't know Mississippi geography, but he was talking. He made like a comment about how like he was like, if you knew Breck Ladd in high school, I promise you, this is the same guy standing up here before you today.
Mhm.
Like that, and then he told a story about this girl that he knew in high school, and he like used to bully her for her faith. And I was like, dang, this takes some stones
Yeah, no.
to say this in front of a congregation on your first day.
There's things
That's wild.
there's things I could not admit to like a congregation. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but like
I could if 30 years down the line.
I don't think I could admit some things to like my church. Like,
There are some things I've never told anybody.
yeah,
I
same,
forgot,
same.
So,
Like, I mean,
um,
God knows everything, but like,
yeah.
there's things like I haven't told anybody that I'm just so ashamed of that.
But yeah, it was really good what
Yeah.
my dad said about it. He was like,
Just
He said
respect to your
something-
dad for
he said
saying that.
something about like he saw the girl that he bullied at my mom's graduation, and like at that point he was already planning on being a pastor,
Mhm.
and they like talked, and she like asked him what he was doing, and he was kind of like trying to dodge the question because he didn't want to be like, I'm actually gonna be a pastor. Remember when I used to make fun of you for your faith?
For your faith,
I'm a
yeah.
pastor. But like my mom's mom was there, and she was like, why don't you just tell her that you're going to seminary? And he was like, oh. And then she was like, you are? And he was like, I don't know what to tell you other than like that is the power of God. And I was like, whoo, my dad's spitting heat today.
There's like, if I do end up going to seminary, like, there's gonna be some people who will be shocked.
Yeah.
For sure. And I feel like there's people I need to apologize to, but I'm scared to like message people and be like, hey, I'm really sorry for this, this, and this. But, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm. It's so tough thinking about myself in high school, like before my senior year, because like I was not a good person at all.
I hate thinking
It's-
about past me.
I do
It
too.
fills me with shame.
So, I mean, it's just it's absurd how much of a better, like, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but I'm just such a better
Wow,
person.
I'm perfect these
Like,
days.
I'm just so much like I'm better like than I was. Like, you know, it's the power of God. Like, it's not me. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's God. But like, it's just insane. Like how much I've grown, like as a person and in my faith.
I think
Like,
the
where I'm at
past,
now.
starting in Guatemala, like since Guatemala, I know I've been pretty inconsistent with like studying, but I think I've grown more in my faith in the past, what is that, 2.5, 3 months?
Mhm.
More like in that period than I had in my life.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Which is like both sad, but also a testament to the past few months.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, there were a lot of super high highs. But I've never been more secure in my faith than I have
Yeah.
lately,
Same.
which makes me happy. I wish I could build on that and be more,
Yeah.
consistent, but I don't know. I think another thing I talked about with Riley last night was like stuff I want to do in the future, and I've always wanted to just be in a position where at any moment somebody, if they need somebody to talk to, I can be that person.
Yeah. You're that person for me.
Which is why I think like a Christian counselor, or even like a pastor. Like I know my dad has people call him like probably
Right.
5 times a day, like
Yeah.
asking for help. And I'm like, my favorite thing to do outside of like worship is talking to people and helping people. Like I
Yeah.
just like, I love quality time with people. I could sit down and spend like an entire week doing nothing but talking to somebody. If that's what I had time to do, I would do it.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't mind when Caleb M runs long,
I don't
because
either. Especially when we're talking about stuff like this.
it turns into just I'm just talking to you and there's a
Yeah.
camera in front
I
of me.
It's the beauty of this show.
Yeah, but like, so I in a non-prideful way, like that's just what I want to do. I want to be able to
be like Jesus, and like if somebody just needs to talk to somebody, I want to be that person.
Right.
And I know there are a lot of times where like I'm like sitting alone. I'm like I just wish I had somebody like right in front of me to talk to right now.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the points where I start talking to God, and then that's always enough. And I feel bad for saying it, but sometimes it is nice to have like a person there to get an immediate response instantly, which is like I want
Absolutely,
instant gratification, but like sometimes I need to talk to somebody.
Right.
Which shout out Isaac Saint, he's one of my favorite people. I look up to him. He's my role model.
He's a great guy.
He might never hear this, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But there have been so many times where I've just like needed somebody, and I know that he has knowledge and he's very secure in his faith, and he will not bash me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I text guys, hey,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
got a minute? And that, oh man,
Yeah. Like I definitely feel like that. You know, having somebody to talk to is just like awesome. You know, like I have you, and I'm very thankful for you because I know like I could come to you with like anything, and it's gonna be love. Like
I have
And
no
you're
one
also
to
the-
judge.
yeah, you're also the type of person that like is also like without being judgmental is like you hold me accountable.
Mhm.
You know, and I'll love you for that. But like for me, like this past month, it's been like, how do I put this? Like for the past year, my growth with with God has been like steady. Like, you know, like I haven't had like a period where I've just grown a lot, but like this past month and a half, it's been like confronting a lot of anger.
I think a big part of growing is
Yeah.
like I think like a good saying I've heard is like the more you become like Jesus, the more you realize, or like the more you are like Jesus, the more you realize you're less like him.
Yeah.
There's a better way of saying that, but I don't know it. And it's like I think in terms of like, you know, as a 19, 20-year-old, like going to like these prayer burns and sitting there for 2 hours just talking to God is like
Absolutely.
it really starts to show you what all these like big things you haven't really
Yeah.
confessed,
Absolutely.
thought about, brought to the cross, and oh man,
You know, I've been like so big in my life of like I want to do things like by my own power.
yeah,
You know, like I just don't like
I am
asking for help, and it's like the same thing.
way.
Like with God, so many times like I want to be able to handle things myself, and like the prayer burns have like just really shown me like I can't. You know, like, and it's also shown me like it's okay to be angry. Sometimes, you know, like Jesus got angry at the temple. You know, and it's like it's how you respond in your anger. And like there's been 2 times I've gotten angry like at the prayer burns. And one time it was because I was like just really discouraged with like everything going on with my youth group, and I didn't have an answer for a kid, and I was really hoping like that the prayer like that's what God was going to show me, and he didn't, or he gave me an answer that I didn't like, and the answer was be patient. I got angry, and that was like the way I acted in that anger was like sinful, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got angry again at the last prayer burn because I started thinking about like stuff with my parents, and like I'll talk to you about it in private, and like I think I handled that the correct way, and like saying like it's okay, I'm mad, and I need to talk to him about it, you know, and try to get past it, and you know, and I'm still angry, sadly, but I'm getting better. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know,
I understand that
but
completely.
yeah.
Anger is definitely hard to control.
Absolutely.
As I mentioned earlier, the thing I've been struggling with the most lately is like guidance, because there's just a few things that I'm confident about, and I've been getting like a bunch of earthly advice, which is not bad, and I appreciate it. I as I also mentioned earlier, I like helping people. I also like when people are willing to help me. I think that sitting down and having a conversation where you pour your heart out and then somebody gives you advice is like, that's like a true friendship.
Absolutely.
That means they care.
Yeah.
Like if they're willing to sit through that. Because sometimes I'm an idiot and I'll ramble for 30 minutes about some freaking bull crap, and then
Right.
I still get a real answer. It's like, oh, you listened.
Yeah.
Like, man. And that's happened a lot with you, and I thank you for that.
Same with me and you, like me talking to you too.
But so I don't know. There's just been a lot of moments lately, like the song Thomas. It's about doubt, and it's been when I DM'd him last whatever day that was, and I think I talked about it last week, and it was like he said like he wrote the song because it was like he was struggling to like accept that there was a sovereign God, and he really didn't have any control over his own plan. Like it wasn't his plan. I was like, that was pretty deep, man.
Yeah.
And I relate to that. It's like, because sometimes it's like, but God, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure this is pretty awesome, and I'm gonna stick with this. And it's just like I've come to terms and accepted that it's not my plan. It's just like, but if it's not my plan, I'm not patient enough. And that's the thing that I've been getting at Prayer Burns weekly is just like patience. Because I'm not patient. I want to be confident in something going on in my life, and then every aspect is just like I just am at a loss, and I just
Yeah, no, there's so many things like I lack confidence in, especially right now. Like, I don't want to get too specific, but like I've already talked about, like
I'm trying not to get specific.
Like I've already talked about, like my calling is one of those things that I don't have confidence in right now. Like what is like, because I don't know what it is. And Next Topic Media, even like I'm just like, do we even care at this point? Like, I care. I think you care.
I care.
And it's just like,
I have so much fun.
right, I do too. But like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how to put it. But like, that's just something I'm like, is there even a point in doing this? Like, are we wasting our time?
At this point,
kind of thing, because
this is not a waste of time at all.
No, I agree.
But
But like,
in general, on that, I don't know. I have selfish prayers a lot.
I do too.
And one of the selfish prayers, I think, it's not even like selfish. It's like I'll pray for Next Topic Media. Like,
yeah,
if it's your will,
I've done it
one day, just one day.
multiple times. I've prayed about it, like.
Because when I pray, I always do like the if it's your will thing, and then sometimes I think those are kind of bad because you say that, and you say it like if it's your will,
Right.
let my thing happen.
Yeah.
But like I'll pray like to like make it big so we can use it for you, not so I can be famous.
Right.
Like I don't ever want to be famous. Don't call me. That's a John Bellion line.
Yeah.
But shout out to John Bellion. I'd love to meet you one day, bro. I'm a big fan.
Come on the show. We'll talk
Come on
about
the
God.
But yeah, it's like, what was I saying? I think that is kind of like a selfish prayer that I have. But if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen.
Mhm.
And until that point, I have a lot of fun.
I do too.
Like reviewing movies.
I agree.
I don't do it because
It's-
I think it's some crazy new thing that could be big on YouTube. It's just like I have a lot of fun
It's
doing
fun,
it. I mean,
And
I think the idea that I had of having like a score sheet, that's what I did. That's
Yeah.
how I reviewed movies and TV shows and anime before, but like I thought it was a cool idea, and I was like, we could make a little show about that. It would be fun.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of fun doing it. And I have the most fun doing this. This is my favorite thing.
This is my favorite thing too.
Surprisingly, this is like, I don't know, this has been a really good episode.
Yeah.
This,
I told you it would yesterday. I was like, this is going to be a great
You
episode.
said that. I think this is going to be a good episode.
I didn't expect
This is our longest episode too. 'Cause
Is it
the other
actually?
one, we're at 3 hours.
Oh, nice. Like, I didn't expect it to go like this either.
Yeah, I know.
I just like,
Because I mean,
I just thought
it
we
makes
both had
sense
good
as
weeks.
I was like talking about my week. I don't know. I just like am very thankful for this week
It's been a
because
good week for me too.
I got to see Jack and Caroline, and I don't know, after Isaac's wedding, I kind of sat back and thought about weddings and how excited I am to get married one day, and how like the bachelors, not the groomsmen. I don't know what it's called, the bachelor party. I keep thinking of it like that, but like the groomsmen, like that's like actually important. And at Isaac's wedding, the thing that made it like me think about it was before we went out there and got Isaac married, the pastor came in and they like prayed, and then one of the things that they said was like, this group of guys that you've chosen, Isaac, you chose them for a reason. They're there for you. They want to see you grow, and you want to see them grow. And I was like, dang. And I was like thinking about like Jack's wedding. I was like, I was one of 7 people that he thought was important enough in his life to throw up there. And I was just like, and the same for Isaac. And I was just like, I love these 2 guys so much. And I really took for granted Jack's wedding, being invited, because like he might never watch this either. I might tell him to watch up till this point, but like I don't know, like I love Jack, one of my best friends ever. It's like literally one of the biggest miracles in my life is that I'm friends with Jack. Like when we moved from Birmingham, I was in 3rd grade, and he's older than me, and like, but Colson's my age, but like, through somehow some 3rd graders and some 5th graders like wanted to hang out, and then it just never stopped. And then we went to college, and I was like, oh, we're probably going to stop hanging out, and we didn't stop hanging out.
Yeah.
And then Jack got married, and I was like, okay,
That's it.
it's
That's
done.
it.
And I don't know, I'd always had this like sad thought, because I doubt that people like me a lot. I'm like, people don't actually like me, but like literally, of the few spots Jack had in his wedding, I was like, I'm not going to make the cut. And I did. I was like, oh. Like, he, like, actually considers me one of his best friends. And, like, that was enough to make me cry, dude. I love you, Jack. I hope these people watch this one day. But I also...
I don't think they're going to make it this far.
That might be
the video.
embarrassing if they do see
Yeah.
it. But, I don't know. That's just, like, one of the things that I thought about. And then I thought about that, like, in terms of my wedding one day. It's like, these people that I'll have, it'll literally be, like, the people that have, like, been with me even when I've sucked. Because I know I suck sometimes.
Yeah,
I am not a good friend all the time.
You're right.
And
99 times out of 100 you are. But, like, there's definitely been times where I'm like, really, Caleb, you had to do that?
Yeah.
But, like, you know. But
and
same with me. Same with me. Absolutely. You know?
There are times where I'm like, well, dang it, Caleb, I don't like you right now.
Yeah, I know.
But, like,
absolutely,
you're still my best friend, and I'll suck it up.
That's what, like, friendship is. That's what brotherhood is. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And
you do things. Like,
yeah. And it's just, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know why I got sidetracked on the weddings, but
Right.
I'm excited to have that group of guys standing with me one day, and like, because I know that's what they'll be. And I'm just very appreciative of the weddings I've been in, and I'm about to be in Andy's.
Yeah.
And that's my brother, man.
It's crazy. Marriage is insane, dude.
All these people are getting married, and it's making me sad, and
We're growing up, dude.
we're growing up.
It's crazy.
And one day it will be me, and one day it will be you, and
We're gonna be neighbors, and we're gonna have dinner with our wives all the time.
I can't wait to go on double dates with you and
I
your
know.
wife.
I know.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on like vacations and stuff together.
Dude, I don't think that's too far out of the picture.
I don't think it is.
I
Like,
think it would be fun.
I don't know, dude. This is gonna sound like maybe corny and cheesy as crap, but I really feel like, I mean, it could just be like intrusive thoughts and me being selfish, but I've had thoughts and like feelings that, you know, God wants us to do something together. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're
I don't know about you, but I also talked about this with Riley last night. One thing that has like always been apparent in my life is I can, and just like I don't know how to explain it, but if I am with somebody else, I can do almost anything for an exponentially longer amount of time. Like when I was thinking about going skydiving,
Mhm.
I convinced Andy to go. My mom was going,
and like absolutely no knock on them, but I wanted somebody outside of my family to be there because I felt like it was going to make me so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because like just having like a friend there that like chooses to be my friend is like has always helped me.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things I'm most excited about in marriage is like I will literally always have that person. I always have them now. What do you think, Caleb? But like I don't know. I think of all the things that like there's some things I don't really like doing, but if I'm doing them with people that I love, then I will do them literally until they are bored.
Yeah.
I will never be the one to say let's stop doing this. Like because I don't take any of that time for granted. I will just What?
No, I was saying like I'll never be. You said you'll never be the person to be like stop.
I'll never go dur.
I'll never go dur.
Yeah. I don't know the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
But
no,
like
I get
it comes from the fact that I'm socially awkward. I have a hard time meeting people, and I think that's why we're so chill together. So I do agree with you. I think me and you would make good business partners one day.
I think we could start like our own ministry or something.
I think we could.
I don't know. I just feel like
I'll have to workshop some ideas. Call it By Faith, Caleb.
no, yeah, like I don't know, like you are like literally the best friend I've ever had, like the bestest friend I've ever had. You know, it's gonna be.
That. I'm pretty good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I rock.
I know. I'm pretty cool.
But like, it's so crazy because I know like there's gonna be times where we're like I'm married and you're married, and our wives are gonna have to like come first. And that scares me, dude.
And we're gonna be like, no!
Spend time with me!
Babe, I can't hang out tonight. I'm
like,
going on a date with Caleb.
Like, dude, like, it scares me because I'm like,
I rock.
I can't devote, like...
Rock. I rock.
Like, you know, like...
You rock.
You know what I mean? Like, it's scary, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to live
That's
in, like...
one of my biggest fears is moving away from my friends.
I know, like... Because I've never, like, had a group of friends like I do now. Like, I've always thought, like, I had, like, groups of friends in high school. Like, there was a time where, like, we were more so acquaintances because, like, especially after COVID, because we, like, hardly ever talked.
I mean, I'll say it right now. Probably one of my biggest regrets in life is my senior year of high school because we talked, like, twice.
I know.
I've told so many people about this. When we got to college, my favorite thing about New Maroon Camp was, like, I didn't know you were going to be there.
Yeah, no, same.
And then when I found, JJ said you were there, I thought about it, I was like, I used to call him my best friend.
I know.
I don't think I've talked to him in months.
I know. It's crazy.
And one of the few times we talked was an argument about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because I like Tom Holland more. And, like, dude,
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like, seeing Caleb is going to be like seeing, like, Jack when I haven't seen him in a while. It'll be like seeing an old friend.
It was literally, like, when people ask me, like, what are the best moments of my life, one of my top moments is going to be at New Maroon Camp. I was in line at Chick-fil-A because my New Maroon Camp group was meeting at Perry, and they would not talk to me, dude. Like, I don't know what I did or said or wore, but, like, they were so interested in each other, and nobody, like, I even tried to talk to people, and they like just give me like one-word answers about everything. Then they turn to their neighbor, and like it's like, dear Lord. So I was like, I wasn't going to Perry with them. I was like, so I just went in line at Chick-fil-A, and I was like, I was so sad because I was like, my college life is going to suck. I have no friends. I'm gonna sit alone every day in my dorm doing nothing, and then you and JJ walk in the union. And I'm like, yeah,
bro,
let's go. But yeah, like. Dude, I don't know. Like, I had a great senior year. I do regret, like, we weren't really friends then, you know, because we just didn't talk. And, I mean, I left Fairview, which, like, is something, like, for my own reasons I kind of needed to do, and I'm glad I did it because I don't think, no offense to Fairview. Fairview's a great church. Like, I'll like...
Not anymore, I'm kidding.
Like, Fairview's one of the only churches I've seen, like, at that size that still, like, does work for the community.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like...
That's why I love Fairview.
It's a great church, and I'm not trying to knock at Fairview or anything, but Fairview was not a place where I could grow.
Yeah.
Because, like, it just wasn't the right environment for me, you know?
I think it is a part of it, like, that me and JJ were there.
Yeah.
Like, I went to church for friends at that point in my life.
For sure. Like, I went to church for, like, all the wrong reasons, like, and there was like a time where like when I started going to Columbus Christian Center on Sundays because they didn't have Wednesday night services, I would still come to Wednesday night services and like trips and stuff, and I would just go to Columbus Christian Center on Sundays because that's where I was like growing more. Because I didn't have like I was the only person like my age. There was a time I was the only teenager in that church, and I was actually like focusing on myself and my relationship with God there. And I remember like Charlie would like come home and just like, dude, you can't do that. And I was like, why? He's like, because people think you're going to church for the wrong reasons. Like, okay, they don't know what I'm doing on Sundays. Like, I know God and faith. Like,
Yeah.
so I was just like, if that's what people feel like, I'll just stop going. You know, like, and then like I just like I'm not gonna go to a church. Like, I don't need to go to a church if I'm there for the wrong reasons and if I'm not growing. You know, like,
Yeah.
so COVID happened, church kind of stopped. And then when like it started opening back up, I was just like, I had like a lot of talks, like, do I go back? Like with God, like, you know, do I go back? Like my senior year is like when I finally started like getting serious about my faith, and you know, it just wasn't where I needed to be. You know, I definitely think I could go there now, and I think I'd be perfectly fine because like I'm at a comfortable like good place with my relationship with God, and I don't think I'd be distracted as easily, but. I definitely like CCC is where I need to be right now for sure. Like I know that, and it's like, and it's not once again, it's like not a knock on Fairview or anything like that or any of the people there, but like leaving, like deciding not to go back to Fairview at that time was like one of the better decisions I made because of where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And it worked out for the best because like you know me and you are best friends now, you know, and I'm at a place where I'm getting to lead in church, and it's great, you know, and I love it. And I feel like being the only person my age there, I'm getting to like, you know, it might sound selfish, but it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You get it. But
I get it.
Yeah, that's
I feel you. And if that 1 year of us not talking was what I needed for a lifetime of friendship, a best friendship,
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take it. I'll take that deal.
You know?
One of the things, like, a couple people have asked me what my favorite part of college has been, and every single time I've been asked, my answer has been getting to hang out with Caleb again at New Maroon Camp, because now we're best friends.
Yeah.
And so, I don't take you for granted, Caleb.
No, I don't take you for
I
granted
love you.
either. Like I talk to people all the time about you. In my in youth group when I'm like talking about whatever, like I'll bring up things that you told me that like stuck with me that I think could help them out, or they'll like ask one time we talked about like friendship and like what it means to have somebody to go to, and I mention you all the time, like if you guys find a Caleb lad, don't lose him.
Do not get rid of me.
Because
I'm one of a kind. I'm awesome, man. Yes! I feel the same way about Caleb Griffin, honestly, though. Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny that we wrap around back to it. Let me reread the verse of... Oh, there go my notes.
Dang.
The verse of the day, Colossians 1:3. We always thank God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, when we pray for you.
Yeah.
I should have just been able to memorize that, but that's okay. The reason that was my verse was because of literally everything that we just talked about. Like, something that I have always hated about my past self is I took for granted the relationships I have, and I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was at a point where, like, I was just, like, asking God for stuff, and then it was, like, actually, like, I was asking for, like, advice on, like, for what I should do with, like, people.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, actually, thank you. Thank you for putting these people in my life. Because there are so many people that, like, I have in my life that, like, they have changed me for the better.
Mm-hmm.
And I could never thank God enough for them.
No, absolutely.
Like you, Isaac, Jack, my dad, Unfair, he's my dad. He's awesome. JJ, Riley, even some of the people we've met through Riley. Matthew is such a good guy.
I know, man.
And
YWAM has been like so
that,
awesome.
like, I don't
So
think I could thank God enough for, like, letting us, like, meet Riley that
No,
night.
absolutely.
That was, like, such a
crazy
crazy night.
thing, man.
And it is, like, especially after, like, going to, like, the prayer burns, that was, like, the thing. Like, I don't think I could thank God or her enough for, like, inviting us
Absolutely,
to
man.
that. It is,
Like
it is literally like God's timing is so perfect. It is what I needed.
no, yes,
And
100%.
oh man,
Like
yeah,
just following on that, like the people in my life now, I've been like very selective about it because I've let people in my life who just weren't good for me, you know. And now I'm just like so thankful because I have someone like you who like you're like so mature in your faith, and it's like I can come to you with literally anything and know like you're gonna be there for me, and we can have conversations like this and it not feel like there's times where like I try to have conversations like this with other people and it kind of felt like judgment because they would say, well, I mean, you've done this, this, and this, and like
yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, I did that. I'm not doing those, type of thing. And
Being
like,
judgmental is something I used to struggle with because I was
yeah,
the pastor's kid. I was the good dude, and I was like, but I have my secret struggle.
Oh, yeah.
I have these things that even like followed me into college, and like, and so like, even if I have never like gone and gotten wasted at a party,
right,
or done drugs or something, like there are things that I've done, and all sin is equal. I have absolutely no room to judge.
absolutely.
I'm a broken person. Like I can't sit here and be hateful.
Yeah.
And I know you feel the same way, and I feel comfortable going to you with anything.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That reminded me of a funny story. There was this time. So I have a friend, Ethan, and Ethan's like also he's a really good guy. But there was this one time we were driving back from playing basketball to his house, and he had this friend named Sarah who was like riding behind him who had played with us, and for whatever reason she decided she wanted to pass him, so she like went in the grass around him, sped up and like spun out in the grass,
Yeah,
and
that
like
makes sense.
like it was funny. So we got the cops called on us, and we were like outside and stuff. And my friend Ethan like talks to the cop, like, cause like the cop's like gonna write her a ticket or something, or like, and like there are kids in this neighborhood. That's like insanely dangerous, which is right. Like,
Yeah.
but my friend Ethan goes, "Sir, I have never drank in my life. I've never touched a vape. I've never partied, and like I'm a good guy." And the cop looked at him and went, "What does that have to do with anything right now?" And he was just like, "Okay, I'm just saying, like, like it was so funny that
Honestly, real.
just the cop looking at him like the cop looking at him like he was stupid. Like that has nothing to do with what's happening.
I don't care.
But yeah, no, like that just reminded me of that story. I don't know why, but
I mean, it is
just because you
what I
said,
just
yeah, because you said like I like, and I'm the same way. Like I've never touched a vape. I've never wanted to party or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm not a party animal.
Just because like I just don't like social situations where there's a lot of people.
They do scare me.
Yeah,
I prefer the quality time. Just me and the boys hanging out.
Like, and just because like we haven't done that stuff doesn't mean we haven't done other sins.
Yeah.
And like you said, all sin is equal. Like we all fall short of God's glory.
Yeah.
And but it is also important to like surround yourself with people who are at least working towards not doing things that they should, and I feel like I've done that in my life, especially like more recently.
I think I've done that.
And
I think I've done that actually like exceptionally well. I think for the most part all of my close friends are like actively pursuing and growing.
yeah,
And I have a few friends that like have really just been on my heart lately. It's like that's one of the things I struggle with is like I'll see people that I know that aren't growing, and I notice it, but like who am I to like sit here and assume that they're not? It's like
right.
I have a really hard time like because there's like sometimes it is easier to talk to people that aren't Christians about it because like I've always like heard it, the hardest people to like convert, I don't know the best way to say it, but the hardest people to like talk to stuff like that about too is the lukewarm Christians because it's so much harder to get them to realize that they're in the wrong. But they're like, I go to church, I do this, and it's like, well,
Right.
that's not what church is.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know. I've had a lot of struggles with that lately because there's people in my life that like it genuinely scares me that I don't know, but like if they died right now, like would I see them again?
Right.
And that makes me sad, but I don't know how to talk to those people.
Yeah,
So,
that's something I struggle with too. Because there's people I know, like people in high school who like I genuinely cared about because they were such nice people. Like people like who would go out of their way to like ask me like, "Hey, how's your day going?" And like, but I know like just because I know them and like they are not doing like the right things. Like college has changed me for the better.
mm-hmm.
And then there's some people like have just gone like off the rocker with it, and like I want to like reach out to them and be like, hey, you know, I'm worried about you, but I also don't want to sound judgmental, and because like we just said, like we're all sinners, right? And I'm afraid like if I do that, I'm gonna sound judgmental.
I don't know how to reach out without
yeah
looking as if I'm being judgmental because I don't want to seem that way.
right, and it's not like
I'm not
trying to be judgmental. It's just like genuine worry, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Because this isn't just like oh man, I might not see you at the big Jesus party. It's like that's eternal life. That is forever. That's not
forever. And you know, like
I mean, it still scares me, and I'm very secure in my faith.
It's
Sometimes
like,
I'll sit there and think about like if I died and for some reason the way I've been living just wasn't like I just was not a Christian. Like that is.
mm-hmm.
I don't get to revert that. I
Yeah,
don't get
no.
to change that mistake.
I know. It's
Not to
man.
scare you. I'm
No,
very
it's
confident
you're
in my
right.
faith. I'm
Like,
going to heaven.
I'm going to heaven too, but like it's still hard to think about. Like especially like I don't know. I get what you mean. Like I've thought about like holy crap, what if I go to hell? You know.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I am. Like, but I mean I know I'm not. I don't know what I think, but like it's scary, man.
Yeah.
I mean it's real.
It is real.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean,
We should really
It's so
do the
we really should
faith-based
because like we could.
podcast. I think that would be good.
Yeah. We should.
We could get like a theme every week
Yeah.
and do it. Let's do that and not do it. You know.
That was. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
I know I back out of a lot of things a lot when I think about doing really cool stuff, and then I'll be like,
same.
"Oh, let's
That's
do it,"
why,
and then it just doesn't
like,
happen, and it
when
makes me sad.
When I started writing that song, like I was not going to tell people because when I tell people I'm doing something like creative, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool! You should totally do that." I get like that lack of or that sense of completion.
Like, oh,
like, you know,
I already got told
like-
it was cool.
Like it's cool. Like people were proud of me, and I don't end up not doing it. But the only reason I do it is because you came in like, dude, I want to write a song. And I was like, but yeah, no, and I've been doing it. But like, yeah, but yeah,
Oops, I
though,
shook the camera.
I actually have it. I have a list of like my goals for the summer. If you want to see, they're right here. Start podcast with Caleb. Play guitar daily. Buy a chords pedal and 500 plus subscribers. So
Let's go summer.
the the podcasting is on my goals for the.
We can do it.
Yeah, we definitely can. It's not hard to do. It's just, are we gonna do it?
I think we could. I think
Yeah.
we should. I think we will. Hold us to it, people.
Yeah.
I need some goals for the summer. I have like some, but I think I don't know. We're literally about to hit June, and it doesn't feel like I've had a break yet. I keep waiting for like summer to start where I'm not doing anything, and it just hasn't been like that yet.
This week was my break. You know, I chilled most of the time this week, just like playing volleyball, writing songs, and like watching TV. So I had a good week in terms of break.
I want to like
I
get
can't
into a
relate to
good
that.
morning routine where I wake up at 6:30,
Mm-hmm.
read my Bible, pray, and then like go run or work out or do something active, and then come back, eat some food,
Right.
play video
Sounds like a
games,
good plan.
relax, and then work
Yeah.
or something. And then I also wish I could find the motivation to. I'm like, there's so much stuff that I'm like kind of like learning right now, like guitar, and I definitely don't want to not or stop learning guitar because
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. And like, I don't know, I suck, but like
Dude, it's hard at first though.
a few times now, like I've gone and I don't want to play it, but I've like strummed out some chords and I thought they sounded pretty good. And did you screenshot the bowl?
Yeah, I did. Because I was gonna send it to. I'm gonna start making shorts again for Caleb AM, but I'm gonna post. I need the next topic media Instagram because I'm gonna post them on there so I don't like bombard my Instagram with Caleb AM posts.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like some of the chords that I don't know, the strumming with like changing chords. I don't know the technical term for that, but like
Changing chords.
some of the ones I've done, I've like this actually sounds kind of good, and I've like recorded it so I wouldn't forget it, and then I want to like write lyrics over it.
Literally, one of the best feelings in the world is like when you play a song on guitar, like the first time I played Feliz Navidad, dude, like all the way through without like messing up or it sounding like weird, like one of the best feelings ever. Same with Why Georgia, same with like any song I've learned. It's just it's such a great feeling, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like, man, it's just cool.
I wish Orange Juice wasn't so hard. It has like 10 chords, and half of them are bar chords, and there's also like weird finger picking.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm anywhere close to that one.
Mm-hmm.
But Everything Everywhere is kind of easy.
Yeah. Nogahan's a great like acoustic guitar player too. Like
He's so
tough.
good.
After getting into guitar, I've like gone and
you start
listened
to
to
notice,
it, and I'm
dude.
like, holy mess!
You start, like,
Noah
really-
Kahan is so good
like,
at
really.
guitar.
Like
I went and watched the Orange Juice acoustic video, and I was just like,
the finger picking thing he did in Tough is
Oh, yeah.
insane. Like
one song that I like, if I'm ever good enough, is like we talked about after like Riley and Savannah's birthday party is Bloom. The finger picking, that song is gorgeous.
Yeah. Dude, the hardest finger picking ever, and I don't know if Neon counts. He's not really finger picking. He's strumming with his index finger and his thumb. It's such a hard riff. Like there's this guitar player on Instagram. He's insanely good, and he posted a video like he was like mad like for the past month I have been working on this one riff, and I can't freaking play it. And he starts trying to play Neon. It's like, what the frig, John Mayer? Like, it's so funny. It's insane, but like, it's not nearly as gorgeous. Like, it's a really good riff, but it's not nearly as gorgeous as In Your Atmosphere. Man, In Your Atmosphere is insane.
I like
pretty guitar. Like, he hits a harmonic, and with it, I'll have to like let you listen to like the first 30 seconds of that. Oh my gosh, it's insane because like,
Oh gosh, it's 10 o'clock.
it is holy. Okay. Well,
I guess we should call it soon.
we can call it now if you want to. We're just
Yeah.
kind of talking about guitar, but thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
We
I
went-
think this is our best episode yet.
I agree. We went really long, but we talked about a lot of great stuff.
I think
Um,
I went long on my week. My week was like 45 minutes. I did a lot this
You
week.
did.
Your week was like 30 minutes, and then most of after that
Yeah.
was really good talk.
It
So
was. So, great episode, man. I am energized. I'm going to get something done today. I don't know what.
I
I'm
have
gonna
work
get
at
something
2,
done.
so I want to do fun stuff
Yeah.
before I go to work.
Valid. Word.
Like
Alright.
play Mario Sports Mix or make food or
I do want to make some food. I am
I'm
hungry.
hungry. I'm gonna make some
I'm
chicken
hungry.
nuggies.
I'm going to throw my fries in the air fryer with your nuggies. So that way I don't.
Oh, I have some fries in the freezer.
Do you actually?
Me and JJ bought Arby's fries.
There's 2 bags of Arby's fries in there?
If you bought another bag, yeah, unless JJ ate the Arby's fries while I wasn't here. We split them, so we better
I
not.
brought some like a couple weeks ago. I might have ate them all last week, but I don't.
There's a bag in there, and me and JJ bought it to make, and then we didn't make it, so
So it's not open?
no, it's not.
Okay, the one I have is open. If it's still in there, I might have ate them all. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching Caleb AM. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and be on the lookout for By Faith Caleb because it's coming.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It will happen.
We'll make sure.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. There it is, man.
Bye.